LOL, my bread slicer is my dating app. This DJs perfectly from what? From what? And action. LinkedIn. It's my dating app. Bumble. It's no longer my dating app. Bumble. The stock's gone down 80%. Let's not mitigate it. Let's be honest with people. The stock's down 94%. Whitney Wolf trying to turn that company around probably should incorporate Larry Chang, adding 9 figures. LABCS 1469 doing the Bumble turnaround. We are comparing Bumble as a dating app versus a bread slicer as a dating app. Who do you think is going to have more heterosexual interaction? Bread slicer or Bumble? Sometimes, Larry, I don't know if I understand your jokes. This is why this joke is hilarious on 10 levels. Why are you watching and not liking? It's just two of us. When you're not cheering me, cheering you on, something's wrong. It's okay. You should leave. Because mentally, you've left dating. Mentally, you've left cheering for yourself. Mentally, I'm getting you to turn around by turning you around with these 5 sentences, which is bread slicer as a dating app. What are you talking about? We're headed into price controls. We're headed into starvation. We're heading into bankruptcy for even rich people that you're currently jealous of. Bread slicer as your dating app, it's where you do anything or she'd do anything for one slice of bread. She voted for price controls. I've seen this movie before. This is what happens when money dies. This is when money dies. Adam Ferguson, Larry Chang. This is what happens when the economic hitman comes home. This is what happens when we export a US dollar. If you're American, I'm not blaming you for exporting a US dollar. I'm saying, wow, what a good business model. We've exported our inflation for close to 40 years. The economic hitman, he ruins third world countries. Eventually, you run out of countries that are willing to be economically hitmanned. Have I explained to you why forever war was why the Roman Empire ended up crumbling? It was forever in a war. It had no idea what war it was going to do next. It was best when America was thinking about invading New Mexico because people in Las Cruces, they already are part of the lower 48 states. Are these constitutional jokes? No. These are constitutional insights because Manifest Destiny is obviously now in South America and also Greenland. If you've ever played Risk, Greenland is pivotal. Slice of bread, slice of bread as your dating app. In the book When Money Dies, because money is currently dying lifetime, you can benefit from it if you don't try to understand and pattern recognize all the things that I understand. When money dies, it is better to have a prostitute in the family than it is to have an infant corpse. What? Are you saying that we should have a prostitute in the family so that way our infant won't turn into a corpse? This is why a bread slicer will be people's dating app because people will prostitute themselves for a thin slice of bread. Have you seen that meme where they're cutting a sandwich slice so it's like a piece of paper for a bread? Ditto a piece of cheese, super, super thin. And it's a meme for a person being very Jewish, Chinese, or Indian. I can't figure out which. Which is the only food dumplings that you're going to be producing when you're eating a slice of bread is nothing. You'd be willing to eat your own doo doo. This is why Indian people are perfectly set up for this ginormous shit show of you're using a bread slicer as your dating app. I'd rather eat shit versus some other prostitutorial misconduct. Because your bread slicer as your dating app, that's what happens when people starve. Price controls, they're coming next. Have you been to the grocery store lately? Everything, if it's not $1 more expensive, you're like, hey, the price didn't become $1 more expensive. I can actually see inflation and I'm rich. If I'm rich and I can see inflation, I can't imagine being poor and saying, oh, we don't have enough money for Spam today. It went up 50 cents. Now I'm going to need to prostitute myself for a slice of bread. Oh my God, we're back on topic. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the super chat. Remember, Illinois is just an illusion. Only when you cross the border does it render in. Before that, it's just low poly corn and vague government concepts until we meet again. Skeletor, probably. So, our entire country is corn subsidies. If you go to a grocery store, it's all corn in a different form. Corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, corn. Think of this video as not me cornholing your brain. Think of this as, oh my God, somebody's going to use a dating app to cornhole my butthole. I'm actually down with that. This isn't cornhole the way that you like it, ladies. This is not flicking the bean while having your corn on the cob holder rubbing your bean, pretending it's Larry Chang. This is not that. This is, it's better to have a prostitute in the house than it is to have an infant corpse. It's us getting not even decimated. Decimated is actually pretty good. You're only going to conquer us and kill 10% of the people. Sign me up, because that was COVID. Sign me up. Sign me up. It's a intelligence test. Will you take this experimental mRNA? Will you? I've tested it on. What's the Snoopy dog called? What's the Snoopy dog called? It's a breed of dog. It's not a dachshund. It's not a boxer. It's definitely not a Shih Tzu. What's a Snoopy dog called? What's a Snoopy dog called? What? Beagle. Would you like an mRNA vaccine? It's been tested on a beagle. It's been tested on a beagle. It's not a CIA lab. We ran it out of China. Stop blaming Chinese people for eating small mammals. A small mammal is going to be a delicacy because you European people, you're going to be eating cockroaches, ants, and crickets will be your Saturday night feast. Everyone's going to starve. Everyone's going to starve. Have you seen how angry farmers are? The Big Short. Who's the really good looking dude who Brad Pitt. He's like, hey, start growing your own vegetables. He's a 3 billion billionaire, and he's talking about peeing into a pile of leaves and using wood ash to grow the salad that they're currently eating. Have you heard me pee? I'm getting ready for peeing into leaves. Larry, I don't have enough money for clean water. Can I do some sexual favors for you to pee into my pile of leaves? I've been to your YouTube lives before. You have a lot of pee. We don't have clean water. That's next, which is clean water is our dating app. Can I earn money just keeping the camera on? No, you're not hot. Plus, stop asking OnlyFans jokes. Bread Slicer as our dating app. This is where I have, not even joking, 5 hours of content. Did you just turn LinkedIn into your dating app? Not even joking. Not even joking. Think of me as the unicorn whisperer. Think of me as Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club. Do you like how big my antlers are? Stop asking me if I'm little. And the best compliment that any troll has ever told me is, Larry, people don't like skinny Chinese guys with a pencil neck. It's funny because if you think that my neck's a pencil, it's because my jawline is so protruded that you think a 21-inch neck must be a pencil. Like, my neck is bigger than your thigh, Mr. 175-pound little man. I've dated women who are 175 pounds and skinny. I treat them like a spinner. I treat them like a spinner. No, she doesn't have a penis, but she's so hot that guys are like, oh, are you a dude? And this is beta males saying, I can't have you. I'm going to tell you that you're a man. See, your dating app is poop and shite. You're trying to throw poop on a girl by saying, you're not so hot. I've never had sex before with a hot girl. Which is spinner. You see, I've dated girls that are 5'10, 5'11, 165, 170 pounds. I treat her like a spinner because my penis, it's my dating app. Because my bread slicer as my dating app, that's very provider. That's very mule horse. That's very mule, mule, mule. You see, when the dating app is a bread slicer, I'm going to make her bring over a Porsche with 3 bags of San Francisco sourdough, because that's my business model right now. I'm charging women $275,000 to accept sperm into their mouth. That's the price. So when you use a slice of bread to say, well, if I'm going to give you a slice of bread, what are you going to do for me? That's you in prison trying to roll 2 cigarettes for a salad toss. Do I look like I'd be the salad toss broker in prison? No. I am so heterosexual that I could give it to the warden in his ear hole with my penis over text message. Get it? I'm in the warden's ear hole with a text message. You thought I was going to fill his eustachian tube with some Chinese penis that is basically a python. No, 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 no. It's that too. But I'm talking about filling up his eustachian tube. See this jawline? See the eustachian tube? You see, the eustachian tube is critical for ear, nose, throat because she's paying me $275,000. She's going to get her fill. Why am I charging that much money? Because my Zelle and wiring instructions, those are my dating apps. Those are my dating apps. Because Bread Slicer as a dating app. New feed, new YouTube Live starting in 2 minutes. You see, a Bread Slicer as your dating app is some mule like behavior. What's a mule? A mule is where a girl sees you as, hey, he has enough money for 2 loaves of bread. Like, he's the richest person in my city right now. He's got money for 2 loaves of bread. Like, all the dogs and cats, they're eating already. Where does he get flour from? Is that even real flour? Well, he's got 3 loaves of bread, bordering on 4 loaves of bread. We're starving. I would do anything for a slice of bread. Do I look like a person that's going to make my 5,000th three-way happen by saying, if you, the 130-pound girl who's 5'7", with the 175-pound girl who's 5'10", spinner, 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 which is, if you participate in this three-way, I will give you 1 slice of bread. Do I look like a guy who'd ever pay for it? Right? I'm the guy who makes her pay for it. Cool. You want to be in a three-way? Go ahead and get a hotel room on Hotel Tonight. Larry, are you saying that you use LinkedIn as your dating app and you use Hotel Tonight as a legal covenant, a contract to financially lock in consent? Remember, if she's buying a hotel room and inviting you over and she does not live in that hotel room, that is pre-consent. She did not sign the $275,000 contract to buy sperm under duress. If you don't know what duress is, it's where you'd do anything for a slice of bread. If you don't know what duress is, it's where the liberal judge says, oh, no, no, no. That contract that you made him sign, they signed that under duress. Your Honor, what kind of duress are you talking about? Larry, you whipped those 2 girls into such a frenzy that they would do anything because they want to be spun. Look at you, Larry. You're hot. Therefore, they signed the contract to buy sperm from you under duress. Are you saying that blood in our vagina equates to duress? Are you saying that? I'm looking at you right now. We're in conflict. I'm a little bit turned on. So if I'm a little bit turned on, those 2 girls were definitely too turned on to make rational choices. I'm going to throw out the contract they were entered into when 2 of the parties were under duress. Oh, we're talking about seeing men semen, because this isn't an extinction burst. Men drowning get an erection and unload as a, why are you allergic to flour? It's doused in Roundup. It's an extinction burst. You see, when men are drowning, which is why I am very careful during yachting and motorboating. Yachting on water, motorboating on land. Because guys like me, we've been dying in and around boating and motorboating, losing our Bitcoin in a boating accident. Flour. Are you really allergic to a slice of bread? Or are you allergic to Roundup? Roundup, glyphosate, mRNA, DNA, doused onto wheat germ so that way the wheat germ has an extinction burst. Think of this. Thank you for all the super chats. Think of this as an extinction burst of what the actual frittata he's really talking about sliced bread as his dating app. You see, you cover Roundup onto wheat germ so that way the wheat germ has an explosion. In the same way that I'm exploding inside the vagina of your beta male brain and beta female brain, because my last video was woman-splaining, woo-splaining 3 credit bureaus, TransUnion, Experian, Equifax, having a field day because people are too poor to declare bankruptcy. That's how you know that the economy's in a ginormous gully called a depression. It's a depression that's hidden from you. This is using a bread slicer as your dating app. It's funny to use Instacart as a dating app. It's incredibly hilarious to use a terrific app that helps you book low-cost hotel rooms, Hotel Tonight. If you sign up using the Larry Chang referral code, enjoy $35 on your first booking. Because when you use Hotel Tonight as your legal consent, legally as a rich man, and we come over to one of my X number of houses to have a three-way, you could say, hey, I didn't consent to that. Or the consent form that I signed it under duress, Your Honor. I signed it under duress because all the blood was in my third brain, all the blood was in my vagina, all the blood was around my bean, and Larry, that really hot Chinese guy who's 6'5" with the strong jawline and high cheekbones, he made me sign this contract. He made me under duress. I was horny. I had to sign it. That's why Hotel Tonight works as consent, because if you're buying a hotel room and saying, Larry Chang, come over, I booked the hotel room on Hotel Tonight. Thanks for your referral code. I'm using Hotel Tonight. Now it's going to be hard to claw back consent. Have you heard of the Me Too movement where you give consent and then you try to remove consent? Because I heard that you said consent. It turns out verbally hearing your word, I give consent. It turns out this is me mansplaining and womansplaining at the same time. Even written consent, it's not flying. Because written consent is, oh, well, I consented to that under duress. Do you want to see my file of consent? Do you want to see my file of consent? What is written consent? It's where you get a girl to write, I really want to understand and execute that a bread slicer is your dating app, which is consent to break my hymen for a 13th time. Because I date women who are older than 22, younger than 23. Oh, these are me draining threes like I'm better than Jeremy Lin at shooting the tray ball. Palo Alto. Someone doesn't know about Palo Alto. That's okay. That's okay. You've never met Larry Chang before. Okay. That's okay. That's okay. Also, it's okay that you don't know about New York Fashion Week. Ooh, I'm getting goosebumps. February 10, 2013, New York, Madison Square Garden. My only video that's got 6 million views. Because I could get the 6 million view videos, look to see which video of mine has 80% of my views. Bread slicer as dating app. If written consent doesn't even work, thrown out in court, she was under duress. Your Honor, what kind of duress was she under? She was horny and she was willing to do anything or say anything for a sweet, sweet, sweet piece of D. D is not vagina. It is vagina, actually, because my penis is an inside out vagina. This is how lesbians have told me. I'm like, you don't date men? What? What? Yeah, like there hasn't been penis here ever, aside from my child trauma. What? What? Why me? Oh, I don't know. You just, I just, I just had a feeling. Oh, you didn't have a feeling. You had a lady boner and it was screaming, let's be Bumble best friends. This is why Hotel Tonight is legal consent in a genius way. Slices of bread as your dating app. What happens next when money dies in the United States is price controls. People are going to get pissed that you're charging a day's wage for one loaf of bread. This is where this whole thing's going. Have you seen the person in Canada? Funny shit I saw on the internet. Subscribe for funny shit I saw on the internet. That episode drops on Tuesdays, not tomorrow. Tomorrow I sold out and got a sponsored gig. You're on your own tomorrow for your laughs and giggles. Thank you for the massive super chats. Thank you. And if you say, oh my God, did Larry just make another $500? My super chat is where you put together two sentences that are coherent that I say, wow, coherent sentences. Here is money since it's been a piss storm of negative shit. I'm just going to transfer you money. You're welcome. Say thank you. 3 people say thank you. I will transfer money. No, no, no. You're not giving me money, you retard. No, 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 no. Not TY. It needs to be written out. Thank you. 3 people need to say thank you. And no, you're not giving me money. I'm giving you. My cowboy hat is my cowboy hat is my thinking cap. And I'm not going to show you 9 more cowboy hats because you can see the 9 more pairs of shoes that are exactly like these shoes. Thank you. Thank you for your pertinent biblical passage. Also, please cite a in Corinthians 2, because what I'm talking about is basically right out of Corinthians. If you're not a robot spammer, hopefully you're a Christian real person. Cowboy hat, slice of bread. Okay. There have been some negatives. I grant you. I understand. You see, chaos is a ladder. This is me transferring money. This is me transferring money. I get a pen because when I die in the year 2130, I'm not just going to fuck up your family by leaving you 2,000 Bitcoin. That's not this. This is how you're understanding, deeply understanding Chinese knowledge, deeply understanding credit knowledge, deeply understanding capital knowledge, deeply understanding venture capital knowledge, deeply understanding Chinese knowledge, understanding what a turnaround is. I'm not going to just lend you $1 million to go execute you being retarded. I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is tell you that today is January 12th. You see, I used arithmetic, deeply understanding venture capital knowledge. I'm still transferring money. There's 4 layers to venture capital, VC venture capital. Layer 0 is LinkedIn. Layer 3 is LinkedIn. This is not a shocker, okay? This is not a shocker. This is me on date 7 giving her the finger, and this is me on date 3, 4, 5, 6 giving her the pinky in the pinky, in the pinky, because I'm not going to share my penis. This is why I get charged with fake SA, because I'm not going to give you my penis and she's going to get pissed. Or if she had a dad, she's going to be like, you've got game. I'm looking at your LinkedIn profile picture, flicking my bean. Because hell hath no fury as a woman with no dad scorned. No fury. She'll do anything. She'll do anything, including go to the police and say, Larry won't fuck me. He only would give me pinky for dates 3, date 5, date 6, date 9. He only gave pinky, and then that's where the big guns come out. Because look at how big this thumb is. If I give you the thumb, you're going to be like, Larry, I've never had 4 orgasms. I think I'm in love. I very much care for you too, with great regard. I have deep affections for you. That's why initially you got to go pinky in the pink, which is still transferring money from me to you, which is the 4 layers for venture capital. Do you see how everything is so layered and layered and layered? Because this is the first time you've ever met Larry the Starfish. Deeply understanding credit knowledge, deeply understanding capital knowledge, deeply understanding venture capital knowledge, deeply turnarounds, deeply understanding Chinese knowledge. As a VC, I'm never going to just give you $3 million. I don't care how great your AI company is. Venture capital, 4 layers. Layer 0 and layer 3 are LinkedIn. Layer 2 is slap a stuffed animal on it, make it slay. Is this a shocker to you? Is this a shocker? Because I'm going to finish the shocker with 4, which is layer 1 of venture capital. Layer 1 of venture capital, it's actually the calendar. The calendar. People in Silicon Valley, Stanford Y Combinator, Larry Chang, you're meeting the 3rd institution, which is institution number 1 of Silicon Valley. I'm institution number 1. This app that you're using, it's 2 of my friends' app. I'm not friends with the 3rd co-founder because he decided to get a PhD out of the University of Illinois instead of inventing YouTube. University of Illinois. Graduated. Some retard thought that I couldn't graduate. This is 3 PhDs in 1 video. You're welcome. Calendar. Arithmetic. This is going to be hilarious. You can laugh, but it's also money, which is some of the most genius people, they can't add 31 plus 12. They can't. Because I'm going to say something that's going to transfer money, and it's going to seem so arithmetic, and it's going to seem so prostitutorial. It's going to seem so basic that you say, oh, I got it. I got it. I get it. And then you're going to forget it because I know you. You're 4.5 years away from a 4-year degree at your shitty school. How real did this video just get? How real did this video just get? Be honest. Be honest. How many things have you started and stopped? Be honest. We're in a point in time where everyone's so retarded that the fucktard remedial who took 6 years to graduate from a 4-year degree, that's the one-eyed cyclops, the one-eyed stormtrooper of love, that's actually the smartest right now. That's me. Feels like we're just meeting for the first time. Here's the money. Hashtag 55 days of Gemini 3 at SF Super Bowl. Larry, why do you have style the way you do? All this information, it was already delivered over 4,400 YouTube videos via Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, co-founder YouTube. The reason that I talk like this is I need to capture retard attention. I need to capture smart people's attention. I need to talk to you in a way where you escape the gravitational pull of zero. 0 millions made. Zero. Ooh, did that hit too close to home? Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Pretend I never said it. 0 books read. 0 YouTube content creators that you've emailed. Layer 1 venture capital, the calendar. 0 hashtags financially benefited from. You think a hashtag is an exclamation point. That's what you think. Or hashtag sarcasm. Or hashtag social media. Or hashtag bullshit. This is why poor people claim that Jews are in a cabal, or that there's a secret society of the Illuminati that are doing secret Jewish things. I broadcast what we Jewish people were doing via a JBA, a Jedi or Jew in business administration. This is the calendar. You see, the calendar has 55 days of Gemini 3 at SF Super Bowl. Maybe you didn't write that down because you're hoping for an idea that you never had, to then you have the idea, to then you. Whereas you're trying to do pattern recognition, you're lost in your sauce, which is hashtag 55 days of Gemini 3 at SF Super Bowl. And then when you can't ask a question because you know it's a bad question, this is how bad questions get pre-rolled. This is how ugly women will ask me out, which is, hey, Larry, can I bum some advice? This is what ugly girls say before they say, can I just stand next to greatness? Screw Jewish things like make money selling that guy hanging on a stick. Thank you for your goy mindset. Thank you. No idea what you're talking about. No idea. No idea. Throwing Hail Marys, trying to tear down Elon Musk. Possession is 9/10. It's like a fountain. His wee is so small, he pees into his own balls. 4K projection much? I don't even know if that's even possible. Is that where you wrap your penis around your leg and then pee on your ginormous balls. Like, I don't even understand that. But thank you for telling me that micro penis. Do you know why men declare to be women? It's because they're angry about the fact that they got a horrible penis and then they claim that it's a vagina. That's why men compete in women's sports. Because they're like, take off your pants, and you're like, oh, that's a vagina. There's a hilarious Brokeback Mountain franchise. I think it's called Fixed Back River. On Lee's going to direct it because I already wrote the screenplay. You're a guy, you have a penis. Oh, that's not true. Oh, that's not true. You should see my DMs. I am going to make you a moderator, though. Hello, moderator, Christian moderator. Find the passages inside of the book of Corinthians, please. Hello. I know it's cool that you're listening. Now, let's start applying some biblical shiitake. Should we drop in a quick prayer to make sure that you're a human? Father Lord, thank you for the comedy of getting truths that are so truthful that we need to incorporate comedy. Thank you, Lord, for your anger when it comes to money changers at Temple, because we don't have sound money right now. We all need to be changing money all the time. I heard this Chinese guy one time on YouTube Live talk about how his bread slicer and a loaf of bread is his dating app, because teaching a person to bake a loaf of bread is causing people to be curious about what an extinction burst is. Glyphosate sprinkled on wheat germ quintuples the wheat production, flour production, while upping the poison dosage. You see, thank you, Lord, for helping me understand. We're not allergic to bread, we're just allergic to Roundup. Lord, thank you for taking things that could have been viewed as negative and incorporating one or two or five biblical passages where we say, hey, maybe we can benefit from this ginormous depression that's a quasi rapture where we're in the midst of it. And also realizing that the Bible talks more about money than any other topic. Lord, thank you for all the money that I've been able to steward. And it feels like sometimes it's too much money. Also, Lord, thank you for the approximately $2 to $9 million that I'm going to be making from this video. I will be not only tithing that money, but douche tithing against it because I really love money. And a douche tithe is where I can't help it. I need to pay double the rate. I need to pay double because I have 7,000x the brain. Lord, thank you for the 5 brains. Brain 5, AI, American intelligence. Brain 4, Larry, did you just pull that out of your butt? I keep pulling stuff out of my butt. My butt, therefore, must be a brain. Brain 3, Lord, is biblically based because I am thinking with my little head. I'm thinking with my little head, hey, instead of trying to have sex with all these women that are sending me bathroom selfies, what if I used women's vagina sexual energy and routed it into curiosity for a future Bible study? How's that for using my little head? Brain 2, stomach. People really get a good intuition about, hey, this guy's magical. Is he Christian? Brain 1, brain. Lord, thank you for not penalizing me, because when you were giving out brains, I went through line 9 times for my IQ of 500. Lord, up there, sitting in heaven, please say hi to my mother, Baxter, and Augie Garrido, And if Augie Grillo's not there, go fucking find him. What the fuck? And also, Lord, thank you for my plus 17 in heaven. Oh, you found Augie? Cool. Can you ask him if he's ever had a better looking baseball player who is also really, really good at baseball? Can you ask him? And also, can you ask him how funny this prayer is? Can you ask him for me? And also, thank you. Thank you for sending your son. Thank you for this prayer. It's the most fucking amazing prayer that anyone's ever prayed. Thank you. Thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. 55 days of Gemini 3 at SF Super Bowl. 55 days of Gemini 3 at SF Super Bowl. Alphabet, Larry and Sergey, they weren't fucking around when they were sending me spam of, would you like $275,000? Holy shit. Holy Google I.O. Are you giving this to everybody? Everybody. Each? 275K each. Go ahead and send me Coffee Bean gift cards on 7-Eleven Day. Go ahead and send me Coffee Bean gift cards. Here's the address to send them to. Duck 9, 2021 Midwest Road, second floor, Oak Brook, Illinois. Oak like the tree, Brook like the river. Oak Brook, Illinois, 60521. Larry, are you going to the Super Bowl? Hashtag 55 days of Gemini 3 at SF Super Bowl. Let's say $275,000 is too much money for your brain to comprehend that an American company would be giving to you per the company. Steve Chen, Chad Hurley, Google, YouTube. Alphabet owns Google, owns Gemini 3, owns YouTube. Keep up here. Keep up here. It's not the year of the dragon, you fucktard. It's the year of our Lord. I'm giving you 2,000 days of Christmas. Strap the fuck in. You could be dropping F-bombs by saying, I don't know what the fuck you're saying. This is how you know that you're going to be paying attention is I promoted a retard. You are now a moderator. Not as smart as you, Larry. Not as dumb as you. Most interesting prayer I've ever heard. Thank you. Thank you. Do you see how it makes non-Christians want to be like, that's a Bible study I want to go to? Oh, is this Sell One Bible for $800 on day number 43? Maybe. Just catching up on comments. Locked in, focusing on comments. You don't get to call people retarded. You only get to call people retarded when they're rich and retarded. But I will make you a moderator because when we call people retarded, people become less retarded. When we stop using the word retarded, it caused people to be default retard. Wants to be white so bad. I'm so white that I will recruit white people to be in a safe space where it's okay to be Caucasian. Wants to be white so bad. Thank you for telling me you're from India, Pakistan. I'm using CRM right now. You do not get honorary Caucasian status. The Caucasians of America, we are denying your entrance. Wants to be white so bad. Thief is perfectly jugad for you. Thief. That is the perfect username for you. You're so bad, I'm going to make you a moderator. You so bad. Miso smart. You're so Asian, dude. This is why you can't call Chinese people Asian. I like your spider plant. Thank you. Thank you. Propagation. Ooh, remind me, remind me to talk about propagating a plant to make $10,000. Larry, plenty of defaults out there. White guy born in Hong Kong, FYI. Oh, there's default everywhere. Chinese guy trying to be white. What shit Asian shithole are you in? I'm going to guess India. Because you're Asian. No, he is not black. I am not here for the black slander. I am not here for that. I mean, sometimes I get fatigued, but I'm not here for that slander. Black people have a different thing. Yeah, we're talking about pathos. Remind me, okay? Because I'm trying to transfer money here because I'm not using my bread slicer to try to sleep with dudes who can't sleep with women. I'm trying to give you money so that way you get me another Rolex that I'll never open because I kind of don't like gifts from men, okay? No homo. That's how no homo I am. Is Larry, I made $2.3 million. I'm sending you a Rolex with a FedEx tracker number. Oh, yeah, cool. Cool. Okay. You're homo. You're so hetero and you love me so much, and I'm so hetero that I think you buying me a Rolex, which you should because I helped you, but now I don't want to open it because I'm not a homo. And then you'll be like, Larry, did you get it? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Larry can break rocks with his penis. You could call the stone in front of her G spot a rock, but I just view it as sapio, like a mental exercise. Two in the wink, one in the pink. Ew. Ew. Tell me in the chat two things that you learned, or I'm not coming back. Tell me two things that you learned. Two people tell me two things that you learned, or I'm outie into my next live stream and you can just fend for yourselves. Tell me two things because I can't help you. At least if you've not learned anything, at least comment pen, which is like a pencil, but it's permanent. Find some writing instrument while simultaneously telling me what two things have you learned? What two things have you learned? It's all real. Just because I'm like Albert Einstein and Elon Musk and I took the time to make it funny, don't make me change my style. Why don't you learn one thing? Because you've watched, looking at my CRM, you've watched 10,000 YouTube videos, you absolute social media sleuth, but you've never financially benefited from any video. Hey, Larry, can you be real for a second? Hey, can you turn your brain on for the first time since your brain has an on switch? There you go. Why is it the smart people getting smarter? There you go. If you haven't learned shit all, at least comment pen or pencil. Maybe you don't know how to write. Maybe you take screenshots as your notes. When was the last time you went back and looked at a screenshot? When was the last time how many screenshots do you have? You can't run your brain like you have a vagina. Vagina can get away with doing that. Oh, I wrote it on my phone. I'm taking notes on my phone. Women can say that because, well, there's a lot of room for error in one of the genders. I'm waiting. What did you learn? What did you learn? Or else I'm dipping. You throwing a homo Hail Mary while going into a fetish, heterosexual Hail Mary, while thinking that the only part of my body that's worthy of you're thinking that my floor is your ceiling by throwing that hetero Hail Mary with the bathroom selfie. Do you see why when women try to have sex with my feet, your ceiling is below my floor? That's not how to throw vagina. The way to throw vagina is, Larry, I'm going to introduce you to the 3 hottest girls that I know. That's how to throw vagina. You don't say, oh, let me try to have sex with your feet, or Larry, let me kiss your feet. Okay. We're not doing the feet washing thing. I don't even meet up with you in person. But what you should say as a woman throwing vagina, as a under 9 girl throwing vagina, is you should say, I'm not hot enough. I'm an 8.5. You obviously only slay 9.5s in double 3-ways. Therefore, let me introduce you to the 3 hottest girls that I know. But then you've never really done it right. You've never done networking right, because you think that you having, like, you kissing my baby pinky toe is something I'm going to tolerate. Because, in fact, next time I'm going to try to not nut, I'm going to be thinking about you, the 8 or 7, or if we're being honest, you're probably a mid 6. In fact, you're probably a 7. You've got a terrific personality. You've got a lot of energy. You're watching this YouTube live at work where it's not safe for your work, because not because there's content that's not safe. It's not safe for work because you might make so much money in this video without a other video, because there's no paywall beyond this. But you're going to make so much value from this that you might quit your job that you're currently cheating on. You're that girl. You're trying to get a better job while you're at a job. You're a climber, Larry. Hot girls mostly want to be worshipped, down and dirty, go all night. Yeah, but the way that hot girls throw vagina is they look for people, they look for men that they have to sell to. There you go. Good job. Someone's rising. 300 West 44th Street. That's the Intercontinental. LABCS 1469. Good job. Bonus Braun Power Cord. Good job, good job, good job. Good job. Loading up green tea. Grab a pen. Get a pen. Nice. Grab a pen. No, don't go to bed yet. And if you are in bed, get out of bed. This should be content consumed nowhere close to bed. Sleuths. Sleuths, I tell you. Sleuths. Sleuths. That's a euphemism for sluts. Hashtag 55 days of Gemini 3 at SF Super Bowl. You've never used AI to get free food or a free vacation or send me a gift card. First person to do this gets to get a gift card to then send me, which is there are 55 days of Gemini 3. This is day 43. Day 43, if you mix up the days, you'll be the person that says, oh, all of the Larry Chang YouTube lives, they all run together. When they all run together, that means you don't know the difference between your asshole and a hole in the ground, which is today is day 43. Can you connect day 43 to 090939, which is 300 West 44th Street? When I bark out these numbers, they all have meaning. I'm conjuring up money, not like I'm a witch. I'm conjuring up money as if I'm Larry the Starfish. Is this starfish worth $800 to you? Is this the first time you're going to be able to sell something for $800 that you bought from Amazon for less than $10? This is the brand, Palm Pals, because it's deeply understanding credit knowledge, deeply understanding capital knowledge, deeply understanding venture capital knowledge, deeply understanding Chinese knowledge, doing a turnaround, day 43. Day 70 is February 8. By being able to not call something January 12 is by seeing the meaning behind this truth, which is if you just put 3 good days together, you wouldn't have to prostitute yourself just for one slice of bread. You could see the price increases and say, yay, I already know where this hockey puck is going. When you see hyperinflation coming, you can say, yay, I'm mentally ready for it. This is what I've been able to do. See, you weren't very successful, or you became successful. You know what? I bet 90% of you are already multimillionaires. This is how it came to be. Here I was talking to you as if you're poor. You see, you got rich. Why? Because you saw something before other people saw it. And you believed in something where you read a book that was written by Jerry Detweiler, The Ultimate Credit Handbook. It was a modest book. Heck, you bought a copy for $1. You got it at the library for $0. But you saw something in the Ultimate Credit Handbook. You saw something and you said, hey, I wonder if sorority girls at Gamma Phi Beta, Delta Gamma, Kappa Alpha Theta, I wonder if they know about Jerry Detweiler. And then you said, what if I read this book and tried to make $2 million? You be Larry Chang. What if I read this book to try to get a free trip to spring break? You must be Larry Chang. What if I read Jerry Detweiler, The Ultimate Credit Handbook, and said, gosh, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, they're kind of pulling some sketchy shit. Maybe I should go on TV to a news station. Maybe I should call a news station as if I'm Jeff Slutsky, how to get clients. Jeff Slutsky, how to get clients. Your clients want to see that you've been on TV. Your clients want to see that you've been on TV. How to get on TV? Hey, do you guys know about what Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax are doing? Would you like to have a really, really hot Chinese guy talk on TV on your channel? Larry, when you went to Houston, did you have to pay $1,500 to make $1 million? No. Do I look like I'm going to buy a $1 million bill for $1,500? Too expensive. I'm going to wait till I go to Houston to make that $1 million. I'm going to spend zero money. I'm going to make her pay for the hotel room. I'm going to make her pay for my flight. Dinner first, coach. This is why I spent $0 last year on dating. Ask me how many girls. Ask me how many girls. Dinner. Buy me dinner. First, buy me a first class ticket to 300 West 44th Street. Coach. Buy yourself a coach class ticket. This is reverse sugar daddy. This is, I'm not using a slice of bread as my dating app. I'm using Yelp, Michelin, which is restaurants, and then United. Why? Why, Larry? Are you showing off? No, I'm showing you that your sugar daddy is actually causing you to go bankrupt. Reverse sugar daddy causes you to say, oh my God, why aren't other people doing this? It's because before me, you looked at a video with 3,900 views as, oh, not popular enough for me. What has chasing popularity gotten you so far? What has consuming viral content? Oh, me and my ADD attention span, I need to watch a video with at least 69,000 views before I'll even pay it any attention. Why? Because I need to know that I'm an NPC joining NPCs to do NPC behavior. Then that dies. Have you been to a Marvel movie lately? Then that dies. Have you watched a Netflix movie recently, beginning to end? Surprise, there's some homo message, which would be fine. It's just, it got shoved in there for no reason, which ruined the story. This is why you get to run ahead in the future. We're in a Great Depression right now. People are lying to you the fact that the economy is fine. We're in a Great Depression right now. There's an active war against the middle class. That's a red pill. Everybody now understands what's so clearly obvious. And then you could say, why are you so gay? You're saying that as a man because I'm the first heterosexual man that you've ever been attracted to. It's your defense mechanism. And if you are gay, I'm sorry that some old person touched you. Your mom was just trying to do a male role model. She had no idea what she was doing. She's a single mom. Forgive her. She tried to do her best. She sent you away to summer camp with some person that she thought was a good guy because she thought that you needed male bonding time. That bonding time turned homo. I'm sorry that that happened to you. I am not gay. I am not gay. But if you got gayed, well, you can watch a video and pray the gay away on your own. Or if you've got Lucifer riding shotgun in your brain, send me $800 for one Bible, because free Bibles, they haven't been working super well. And where is that Christian guy? Where is that Christian guy? You're supposed to find a biblical passage. Where the F is my biblical passage from Corinthians? Drops in two Bible spams. Oh, you're still here. I can't figure out if it's Christ King or Chris King. Where's the other Christian dude dropping Christian spam? Where is he? No problem. No problem. Wants to be white so bad. The calendar. 55 days of Gemini 3 at SF Super Bowl. AI. Stop saying it's a bubble. I mean, it is a bubble, but so is my ego. But you can still benefit from my content, even though I'm never going to sleep with you. Your bathroom selfies, your boobs are amazing. But understand from a safety perspective, one, how do I even know that those really nice boobs are even yours? Two, do you see how guys like me have risk in meeting up with random boob throwers via bathroom selfies, right? Because this gets what it needs in the real world. So I don't need social media DM slides. What we're doing with 55 Days of Gemini 3 at SF Super Bowl is we're connecting it to May, but has AI ever gotten you one free vacation? And let's say free vacation makes you nervous because you've never financially benefited from one YouTube video. This is your old YouTube practice. You would watch a video on how to boil water, and then you would burn your own house down. This is quantum cooking that women do. I tried to boil water. I burned my stove apart. You see, you watched a cooking video one time because you wanted to make tuna melt. Instead, you ended up botching it, and then now you ordered it on DoorDash. This has been your social media practice up until now, where you say, what is he doing? It's not Christian spam. It's what is the passage in Corinthians that applies to what I'm talking about, to the dude who is dropping Christian spam. Right? Right, Brady? Look at this room. Look at this workshop. Nike Air, baby. External API. Right back to hashtag 55 days of Gemini 3 at SF Super Bowl. You see, Nike Air shoes and a dress shoe, that's you guys who are temporarily retarded about to be rich because hashtag external API. Put that in the chat, because if you don't use external API 5 times per year, you did not make 200K. This is a free vacation. Let's say a free vacation to San Francisco, to Silicon Valley scares you because heterosexuals watching football in the 1 week of parties. Because when I say Super Bowl party, losers all think Sunday, because you guys just watch it on TV. I'm saying Super Bowl party Saturday, February 7, Friday, February 6, Thursday, February 5, Wednesday, February 4. Bro's playing on the FOMO. No, FOMO is some black people having FOMO on other black people's shoes. Are you black? Either way, this is not FOMO. This is COMO. This is Chinese people offering money Oriental. This is Como. Como? Yeah, Como. Como? Todo bien? No. No todo, no bien. No todo, no bien. Como. Chinese offering money originally, which is an external API for a Wednesday party on February 7. You guys weren't in my room called a safe space for heterosexual cis males, because I did that room as a joke because some asshole was like, bro just wants to be white. It's hashtag external API. And good job asking questions, because an external API to Google is us. You see, consent. When I'm going to have sex, I'm going to get consent written. But then when the judge throws out written consent, because guys like me, we get sued all the time. This is what it means to win the lottery called I finally got Larry Chang's penis. Now I'm going to get my bags. You can't get my bags because I got you to sign consent. And then the judge is like, no, no, no. She signed it under duress. Her vagina was swole. I'm going to throw that contract out or that consent out. It's not even a contract. Consent. Verbal consent, it's not enough. Larry, you're hilarious. You're hilarious. What we're doing is we're doing an external API where I turned consent into foreplay. Because if you're going to make a rich dude play the consent game on hard mode, where she can retract consent even if it were written, imagine what's going to happen at consent when she verbally says it. Ladies, this is why all y'all don't make any money. 95 to 99% of females will not make 100K total before women turn 30. So we as women, we risk this true fact, which is true, which is 90, basically the super majority of women will not make 100K total before 30. Application Protocol Interface, API. So what we're running is an API into women's brains. We're running an API into Gemini 3. We're running an API into the Super Bowl. Okay. 55 days of Gemini 3 at SF Super Bowl. Well, Gemini kind of did pay me, but let's pretend that they didn't pay me in the same way that 23 days of OpenAI at South by Southwest, which is SXSW. What's an external API? The internal API is 12 days of OpenAI. Have you heard of it? The 12 days of API? So the 12 days of OpenAI, that's an internal API, which is OpenAI. That's an internal API. It sucked. It was a Jewish guy trying to do a Christmas party. Sometimes they're the best, which I love going to Jewish girl hosted Christmas parties. That's kind of my favorite thing, because then I make her say a bunch of Christmas shit to me, and then she breaks down, and I make her dress up in Christmas stuff, and I make her put on her clothes, and then send bathroom selfies with her looking like a Christmas tree. You know, I'm not making this up. This is why it's funny. You see, I'm running an API into being Jewish by making them say Merry Christmas to me. That's an external API. Oh, the hottest. Have you seen that whole region? Like Palestinian girls are the best looking. And basically, Jews and Palestinians are basically the same. They're basically the same, which is why they hate each other so much. And ditto Japanese people and Chinese people. I don't digress. I'm talking about hashtag Japanese maxing. 3X's in Jap maxing. Because what we're talking about is a video called A Bread Slicer as My Dating App. Because we're in a secret Great Depression, we can still use an external API. You see, during a Great Depression, there are going to be more millionaires and billionaires made because the rules of the game are going to feel communist socialist. I'm getting you ready for hyperinflation. I'm getting you ready for running an external API into the Federal Reserve so that way you can print money. Oh, wait a minute. Are you now understanding that that's what Bitcoin is, which is rules for money, rulers not required? That's why you're not a moderator, because you're trying to actively not understand. We are prompting, correct. We are prompting. Let's bring it all the way home by trying to make $800 for $0. There is no inner sanctum. There is no consulting service aside from the $2.1 million per month, which you wouldn't even have to pay. This is what you're getting for $2.1 million a month, which is if you can't make $2.3 million, you're a retard, because this is Web 4, this is Web 5, this is Web 12. Web 12, can you write 12 sentences about what you heard? Take your comments, your last 12 comments. If none of those comments made any sense, that's okay. That's where you are on day number 44. That's where you are for day 43. That's where you are on day 43 of the 55 days of Gemini 3 at SF Super Bowl. Take your last 12 comments. If none of them really have a thesis or a direction, that's where you are right now. This is how I use CRM, crowd reading management, where you can see other people inching towards, oh my God, this is comedy, but there's an educational message. This is what I was already looking for. You see, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. If you can't find a teacher on YouTube, you weren't looking for one. This is what people say when they're trying to not look for a teacher while being full retard. This is what people say. Can I just stay home and flog my bean? Flog my dolphin? Flick my bean? Yeah, you can do that. But I'm not going to date you. What if I want to just stay home and play video games? Yeah, cool. Cool. But that's not 12 good sentences. That's Web 12. You see, Web 12, Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're in for a treat. We're talking about Web 12, which is Web 1, Web 2. We're talking about Web 12, which is 3x Web 4. We're talking about Web 12, which is Web 5 plus Web 5 plus Web 2. You see, social media, it's busted. You see, social media, it's it's one, liking doesn't work. Two, subbing doesn't work. Three, the algorithm is constantly changing. This is how we can take advantage of Web 12, which takes advantage of our five brains. Yes, five brains, which is using AI as an exterior brain that acts as a co pilot. Hashtag 55 days of Gemini 3 at SF Super Bowl. If Microsoft would like to spend $275 million, me, I'm for sale. I could be bought. Next year, we can do the 54 days of Microsoft Copilot at Los Angeles Super Bowl, February 14. I know, I know. I'm retarded, but I somehow got to be the number one smartest person in Silicon Valley. Good morning, cowboy, cowboy, cowboy in the house. You see, number one that we're doing is you're going to need some working capital. You're going to need some working capital. And I understand you owe $15,000. Bread Slicer as your dating app. Slices of bread as your dating app. When you're starved, when you're underwater, you'll do anything for oxygen. That's why I never want to meet up with you. You're probably going to drown me. We haven't even met up yet, but some of the retards that watch me are trying to drag me down. And by meeting you where you're at, which is 15,000 feet underwater, you're making me sometimes be retarded. And not in a good kind of retarded. I mean, retarded kind of retarded. I mean, a hapless, where why don't you just stop drowning? Larry, I want to keep drowning. I want to watch you with your giant penis tread water with just your dick. Can you tread water with your baby arm? Should Larry Chang be allowed to play women's water polo? Because what we're winning at is this: working capital. You're going to need to sell one Braun power cord 7030458 for $80 to $105. Why? Because you're finally doing this thing correctly, which is sell one, buy one. Sell one, buy one. Everyone goes bankrupt buying 30 and then selling 6 or 0. So we're going to need to sell Braun power cord 7030458. We sell one, then we buy one. When you don't get that order right, I would say punch yourself in the balls or punch yourself in the ovaries, but I don't think you have ovaries or balls. I don't. Like, how are you not doing this already? You see, you don't see, this is what I got to tell you. Stop trying to sell stuff to poor people. Do you see me trying to squeeze you guys who are poor for money? No. I'm hard selling you. Just take these protocols. A protocol is a hashtag. And if you feel like the hashtag needs to trend in order for you to take one modicum of inching yourself towards making $6, this hashtag is never going to trend. Do you not see that? Because this is why I'm batting 1,000 when it comes to blonde billionaires. Is I demand accountability. I don't care how nice your boobs are. I'm going to demand that you follow up. I don't care how blonde your hair is or how big your boobs are. even though those are my two Achilles heels, my Achilles heel is I don't have an Achilles heel, which is why I have power over blondes with big boobs. Oh, Larry's got game. Maybe I'm going to need to actually do what he says, which is dinner first coach, which is Larry, I'm not blonde and I'm not with big boobs. How can we make this into the breast January 12 ever? How do we make this into the breast day 43 of the hashtag 55 days of Gemini 3 at SF Super Bowl? How do we make it the breast? We make it the best by running external API one fucking time. That pains me why haven't you emailed me 12 sentences? I keep saying Web 12. You know what I feel like? I feel like I'm trying to sell you Bitcoin for $120 or telling you it will be $120, where I'm saying buy 6,000 Bitcoin from me. I'll buy you one ice cream sandwich. Like, is that a good deal? You buy 6,000 Bitcoin and then I get you an ice cream sandwich. This is food for lead generation. Because I need to know why you're so retarded, which is why I will give you an ice cream sandwich and say, why are you not buying Bitcoin? Top 10 Silicon Valley reasons Silicon Valley hates Bitcoin. 1, standing next to the money printer, that's Web 4. What is Web 4? It's two computers talking to other computers about fake money. Venture capital. Remember, we're talking about an external API into venture capital. Larry the Starfish is a better VC than VCs. Ed Chen, Bruce Wang, Larry Chang, John Teo, Tim Chang, Larry Chang. If this starfish were to have 6 arms, it'd be 6 really, 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 really good looking Chinese VCs. Because VCs, they love special money. Ed Chen, Bruce Wang, Larry Chang, super hot, super hot, super hot. Because I am those people. John Teo, Tim Chang, Larry Chang. Tim Chang's sister thought I was Tim Chang. So if his sister thought I was Tim Chang, imagine everyone else. Wait a minute. Does that make me gay that I think that Ed Chen and John Teo are hot? No ring to kiss. Kissing my ring, kissing my starfish, kissing my ego, that's not going to get it done. What gets it done is Web 12 work. Somebody doesn't know how Zillow works. It's okay. You can't run an internal API in a Zillow while doing a property record search of Zillow. Maybe you haven't seen my friend's company. It's www.zenbenefits, ILLOW. What it is a compilation of real estate. You are 32 lifetimes away from living in a residence that you own. That's how far away you are. That's how far away you are. Because I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you with an external API. Drugs. Venture capital is one hell of a drug. This is not a drug delivered to you drug free. Let's not call L-theanine a drug. Green tea. page 344, chapter 19, Jim Quick's book, Limitless. Oh, green tea is delicious. Who's making more money right now? You or Larry the Starfish? This is an external API where you buy a Larry the Starfish from Jeff at Amazon. You buy one and then you write 12 sentences. You just web 12. You just web 12. Darren Thomas Jr. Have you seen Ron's short? It's pretty funny. Ron has checked next to his name. He's too famous to see you. LinkedIn is my dating app, Comedy Gold. I don't care what women want when I know what they respond to. Truer words, buddy. True words. You look like John Teo, Tim Chang, Larry Chang. You look like Ed Chen, Bruce Wang, Larry Chang. It's okay that you're an NPC. NPCs are welcome. We're doing a turnaround. External API, working capital. Stop trying to make money off of poor people. Do you see me trying to make money off of 3 of the 3/8 of the room? No. We're doing guacamole. This channel is about what they don't teach you in school. Lululemon, that's taken. La La Lime, not surprisingly, it's also taken. He did a piece of brain rot where he talks about a hashtag called hashtag chapter 69 FAGFF. So perfectly on cue to my script, which is top 10 reasons Silicon Valley hates Larry Chang, hates Bitcoin, which is brain rot. Brain rot is attention getting. Let's not brain rot for just attention for attention's sake. Let's brain rot the ball that Ron dropped, which he then picked up. Because what we're talking about is working capital. We're talking about small success. Is this BJ Fogg Tiny Habits, Stanford University, design school? It is. But remember, it's not name dropping. It's not name dropping if you don't know of future blonde billionaire Anna Ennison. What is her name badge doing on my desk? Spittles. Anna Ennison, blonde billionaire, coming up. I'm batting 1,000 when it comes to blonde billionaire unicorns. Batting 1,000. Lisa Falzone, Caroline Rodriguez, Anna Annison's name badge. I have no idea. I have no idea how her name badge got here. I have no idea. Hashtag guacamole. This is free Lululemon yoga pants for Larry Chang from you guys, you girls. Guacamole is making fun of Lululemon. Guacamole recipe number 23 is hashtag external API. Guacamole recipe number 23. These are recipes from a book called What They Don't Teach You at Harvard Business School. I ran an external API into Stanford Business School, Stanford Engineering School, by teaching concepts from Mark McCormack, What They Don't Teach You at Harvard Business School. Ditto American Express running an internal API into Fashion Week, which is sponsoring Fashion Week, American Express getting run an external API into American Express where I'm sitting front row. Why? Because I'm running the best kind of API, an external API that has now come inside the house. Have you heard the horror film, The Phone Calls? They're coming from inside the house. Have you heard the Silicon Valley company? We couldn't beat them, so we joined them. We couldn't beat Larry Chang. That's why we M&A'd Larry Chang. You're talking to a person who really, really loves external API because I'm the solo founder of the Uber Cab API. Uber, it's everyone's private company, private driver. Uber, it's black limousine town cars at the touch of your iPhone 2 or iPhone 1. Uber API. I ran an external API to the Uber API. We want to run an external API all the time. I talked about it at hashtag LABCS3366. Bumble, running an external API to Bumble. Bumble, are your users pissed off that you have 73 genders and also don't have sex? Maybe fix that at 300 West 44th Street using a Bumblebee themed restaurant turning around. Do you see how the Intercontinental has a restaurant that's not great, but we're making 300 West 44th Street great again? Nobu. It used to just be a sushi restaurant. I ran an external API into a Hyatt hotel owner called the Epiphany Hotel and turned it around. I'm co-founder of Nobu Hotel. I don't want to say these things because it makes me sound crazy, which is Nobu. It ran an external API to Epiphany Hotel, the Pritzker family, Chip Connolly, Larry Chang. And then the external API, it came inside the house. Have you ever hated some guy and you're like, oh, he's so slutty. He slept with all of my friends. And then the Chinese guy comes inside of you bareback, right? That's an external API where you're like, oh, I'm not a big sports fan. I think the NFL's rigged. Oh, I can go to a cool party that makes me pay for my vacation. Not to Vegas, although the Cosmopolitan Hotel was one guy, 3 books. You see, Las Vegas had a Super Bowl as soon as they announced it a year and a half before, February 6, 2023. Yeah. You see, the Super Bowl, maybe you don't believe in it, maybe you don't watch it. Me, I've watched not even 1.0 total football games. But we can financially benefit because today is day 43 of the hashtag 55 days of Gemini 3 at SF Super Bowl. Let's say you don't like Silicon Valley. Let's say you don't like football. Let's say you don't love Larry Chang. You do love Larry Chang. You can understand why a bread slicer is your dating app. This is what's called food for lead gen, meaning you're starving. That is not an erection under the desk. It is an erection under the desk. Do you like my new setup? External API. Why do I have multiple pairs of Nike Air? Derek Jeter if you're not a sports fan, he plays middle infield. And then he's talking to a person who distributes a ball called a two guard or an off guard or a two guard, sometimes small forward. I'm not going to tell you the name because he plays basketball. So it's a baseball player, Jeter, and a basketball player, Jordan, and me, Larry Chang. I love external APIs. Guacamole recipe number 23. Larry, how do you memorize the number 23 so well? Because do you kind of do you is that just your why is it 23? I have no fucking clue, okay? I have no fucking clue. But here's where I do have a clue because Derek Jeter, he's wearing Jordan 7s. Maybe instead of asking where the topic's going, maybe fucking listen. Jeter, he plays baseball, he plays shortstop. He says to Jordan, I really like my Jordan 7s, which is, I get them free, motherfucker. I get them free. I'm not mooching shoes. Me, Jordan would give me free shoes. I don't ask for free shoes because when you ask Jordan for free shoes, you're not being Jeter or Chang. Jeter, he gets free shoes. Larry Chang, I could get free shoes. These shoes could be free. Instead, I'm going to ask what Jeter asks, which is, can I make $20 million? Because this is what Jeter said to Jordan. I was right there. He goes, I really like the Jordan 7s. I would wear these to play baseball. It's a compliment that's real. It's a real compliment. It's not like you guys who are trying to say, hey, Jordan, if we played one-on-one, who'd win? Meh. Trying to be like a beta male. It'd be like, hey, those Jordan 7s, if they had a baseball bottom, I'd wear them on the field. So an external API is where you're taking Jordan's shoe and slapping the Nike cleat on the bottom. And he goes, is it okay if I take a pair of Jordan 7s and put some Nike baseball on the bottom? I'm like, am I the co-founder of Nike Baseball? Because that can get me on a team. You see, I'm really, 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 really good at baseball. Really, really good. But some baseball coaches, they used to not love Asian dudes because you're like, come on, he's Asian. Can he be any good at baseball? I'm used to just Dominican people. That's why you don't know who Lorenzo is. You don't know who Lorenzo is because Lorenzo Chang, that sounds like a Chinese dude who put it into a Dominican and went to IMG Academy because look at that guy's bubble butt. He's got to be half black, half Latino. Look at his bubble butt. Look at that bubble butt on that guy. Oh my God. You play shortstop? This I got to see. Or if I show up Chinese, this I don't want to see. I don't like Asian people playing baseball. Now the algorithm has shifted. Ditto Jeter with Jordan, shifting the algorithm because he's asking Jordan, hey, I don't need your permission, but I would kind of like my Jordan 7s. I would kind of like to wear them on the field. I told Nike, you should just do Nike baseball. And then Nike baseball's like, cool, let's charge $300 for these Jordan 7s in baseball. I was like, white people play baseball, okay? White people play baseball. Black people would spend $300, even though black people have $5,000 in debt. That's how black people are wired. That's how black people are wired. Deeply understanding credit knowledge, deeply understanding capital knowledge, deeply understanding venture capital knowledge, deeply understanding Chinese knowledge, doing a turnaround. In front of the Congressional Black Caucus, I said, we as black people, we need to stop going bankrupt for a $300 pair of shoes. We should do strategic bankruptcy where we default on our second mortgage. This is how to get a free house for our mom. I know. Thank you. Nike Baseball decides to charge $300 because they're charging baseball prices in baseball. They're charging basketball prices in baseball. No, 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 no. Stop timing out, people. No, 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 no. Do not over moderate people. Uh-oh. Oh, we're still live. Nice. Nice. It's a bunch of beta males trying to time each other out. Nice. APIs, external APIs. All right, I think that fixed the problem. You want to donate to yourself. What's wrong with you? No super chats right now. That's timed out right now. There's too much money coming in. External APIs, Jeter. Basketball priced shoes for baseball, that's not going to work. Nike Baseball, even though I'm the unofficial non employed co founder, fell flat. Did I switch teams to New Balance for shoes? Yes. Two CS majors distributing New Balance head to head against Jeter. Jeter wasn't pissed because Jeter's shoes were incredibly exclusive. Nike Baseball could have had all of New Balance's market because me and two CS majors, we sold New Balance shoes better than Jeter sold Nike Baseball. Thank you for letting me know what you do with power. Thank you. You see, when we get power and we abuse power, this is why you're going to be stuck being poor and dumb. Because, yeah, no, no. It's you mismanaging your own brain. This is why I will actually help you make $1 million and you're just going to throw it away. And this is why you're temporarily poor. It's just temporary. Don't worry about it. It's just temporary. It's just temporary. Limitless money, external API. You tranche it in at $30, $40 because nobody wants to try to get off of zero. The difficulty is your first profitable. This is making $1. It's nearly almost impossible because mentally you get it. But if you don't go through the details of it, you're only going to theoretically understand it. This is YouTube, is influencers to get you to think that you're thinking when you're actually, yeah. You don't want to be thinking that you're thinking. You want to actually be doing something in the same way that Ron does the lip sync, where you could call it something negative. I call it a step one because what Ron's probably going to forget is the hashtag. What is the hashtag, Ron? What is the hashtag? Do you remember your hashtag? Too slow. Hashtag chapter 69 FAGFF. Fuck around, get free food, which is perfectly external API, which is perfectly Larry, DoorDash. How did they use an external API? Fucking around and getting free food is running an external API to DoorDash using guacamole. It even sounds like DoorDash food. DoorDash. Step one was not borrow $20 million from Larry Chang. That was not step one. Step one was Web 12. I am not making this up, even though this is hilarious. You see, Web 12 is, can you make a website called paloaltodelivery.com? Because I almost said Yelp. It's the same thing with Yelp. DoorDash. They did not ask Krung Siam for a contract. Consent. I use Hotel Tonight to lock in consent. Krung Siam, Orange Hummus, Chantal Grion, a macaron cookie company. Would you like to buy 6 macaron cookies for $20? Would you like to buy 6 macaron cookies? Would you like to buy 6 macaron cookies for $20? I have an empty box because women can't check to see if there are cookies inside. Bread Slicer as my dating app, Macaron Cookies as her dating app. I'm not coming over until you buy me some Chantal Grion cookies, macarons. You see, DoorDash started by running a website called paloaltodelivery.com. That's an external API, hashtag external API. That's Web 12, hashtag Web 12. Because you don't need to ask the cookie company, hey, can I buy your cookies to then sell? Hey, can I buy your cookies to then deliver to somebody else? Nope. 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 You have no idea what algorithm you're talking about. You have no idea. You're trying to tell me, do you even know who Susan Wojciechowski is? You're trying to tell me how the algorithm works. We're coding the algorithm, you absolute tard. You don't see. Do you have a computer science degree? Larry, I'll just let them destroy your channel and hide everyone off. Larry, I'm the most valuable moderator. Larry, give me a second chance. I won't do anything when other people try to ruin your algorithm. Sorry, Larry. I thought I was helping. So don't feel bad, okay? You just met the third institution of Silicon Valley. And this is not white or Chinese people shit talk. This is not white or black person shit talk. This is Chinese person shit talk. I have no idea how this got on my desk. Anna Annison. Mom, Dad, I swear she wasn't over here. 2 to 5 girls that I'm in a situationship. Stop looking through my shit to see if I'm cheating on you. We're not in a monogamous relationship. The algorithm. We're affecting the algorithm. You're not even meeting the third institution of Silicon Valley for a first time. I'm trying to. That was painful. That was painful. Why don't you affect your own algorithm? Moderate your own brain. You know what? You get raw dog. Enjoy raw dog. What's raw dog, Larry? It's no microphone. It's raw dog. How's raw dog treating you? We got a raw dog anyway because PaloAltoDelivery.com. That's DoorDash. You don't just start a unicorn. Well, you do. But the way a unicorn starts is an external API. There is no other way to do an external API. There's no other way to get a unicorn up and going. There's no other way to get a unicorn up and going other than to start it off with an external API. And then you trying to stand next to greatness in order to get a quasi producer job. Don't stand next to this. This video is called Come Grow Go. I'm talking about using bread slices as a dating app. Do you want to come to another video? No. One and done. Don't subscribe. One and done. One Larry Chang video and you're done, okay? You should be rich by now. I've outlined the best video ever. The best video ever, which is I welcome you. Just the quickest of timeouts. When you come back, okay? Come back better. Come back better. Just the quickest of timeouts. When you come back better. What are the 3 institutions of Silicon Valley? Stanford University, it's a top 30 school. Y Combinator, it's a top 20 business incubator. Institution number 3 is the third institution of Silicon Valley, Larry Chang. You see, Stanford and Y Combinator, they have ginormous standards. YC famously said, This is the most interesting thing you'll ever do in your life. What? Sure, it's hard to get into. Ditto Stanford. You see, if you're Chinese, this is how you go to Stanford. You get a perfect 1400 on the SATs. You have a GPA of 4.4 to 4.7 out of 4.0. You have to play 2 pro sports that earn money, aka a revenue sport. You don't just have to play them, you have to be a revenue producing 5-diamond athlete. Are we Japanese maxing right now? Yeah. Japanese, Chinese, whatever it takes. Because if you've got almond-shaped eyes, you're going to need to play 2 pro sports. We can't have Stanford be 75% Asian. Harvard locked it down at 15% Chinese. Because if it were fully merit, the number of people at Harvard would be 80% Chinese people who are born in America. Let me repeat, not an anchor baby. Let me repeat, it's a American person, American born Chinese. This is why you need to play 2 pro sports, because it is not a meritocracy. We have to let retarded Black people and white people and Latino people in. Have you seen the disparity between performances? UCSD found out that 1/4 of its grads can't do math and can't read. No judgments if you can't read. Most people can't read 1.0 book. But know that companies, they want to hire Chinese people because UC Irvine, that was their safety school, and now those Chinese people, they're angry. I know this Chinese guy who's super angry that there used to be Asian discrimination. Now the pendulum has swung because the algorithm has changed. Now anything with squinty eyes gets a 9-figure contract. Have you seen the free agent signings? They may as well call them free Asian signings. Anything that's Japanese with a pulse, it gets 9 figures. It's because the Dodgers, I'm getting goosebumps. It's because the Dodgers have some random Japanese people that they paid 9 figures for. They're all much better than advertised. Even the Chicago Cubs have a Japanese person. They're like, I'm not paying you 9 figures. I'll pay you 8. And then the Japanese dude walked. Because what we're determining is this is the 3rd institution of Silicon Valley dropping some pretty hilarious jokes. Will you benefit from Web 12? Will you benefit from this truth, which is, I know how DoorDash started. This should get you not fuck around and get rich. This is fuck around and get free food. Yeah, that arbitrage died. I think that was 15 years ago. The algorithm is constantly changing. Don't be upset if you're not Asian and you got into your community college. Don't get mad at me. Get glad, because this is me shooting a shot. I have to shoot it into a regulation NBA rim, which is a ginormous basket. Did you know that the basket is twice bigger than the ball? Done. Okay? That's why I drain threes. If college were Division I basketball, Black and white people, they'd be shooting towards a hoop that is as big as a barn. Have you heard? You can't hit the side of a barn standing by the barn. Have you heard? You can't throw it into the ocean as you're standing next to the ocean. That's how big the goal is. That's how low the bar is when you're Black or white trying to go to college. The bar is so low, but the bar is so high for Chinese people. That's why Chinese people got angry. Me? I'm not angry. I'm really, really good at sports. Stanford and Harvard, they are my safety schools and continue to be my safety schools. What is a safety school? A safety school is, I'll go there if the wagon wheels have fallen off. I'll go there as a second choice. You see, my safety school is your reach around school. Because going to the MIT of India, that shit don't count. I've seen all the fraud. I've seen how you get H-1B visas, committing all that graduate school fraud. See, the algorithm's always changing. Cheers to the algorithm changing. External API, PaloAltoDelivery.com. What is your PaloAltoDelivery.com? What is your 55 days of Gemini 3 at SF Super Bowl? You can do your city delivery.com. You're already a delivery driver driving for Instacart. Would you like to drive for Instacart? Use my referral code, comma quote, Roger A 2415D. 2415D. Asian cowboy, my brain's breaking. You could say a John Wang joke. You could say a John Wang joke. I give you consent. I give you consent to say a John Wang joke. I give you consent. I give you consent. I give you consent. What happened right there was John Wang, CEO of Windsurf. That just happened. The W, it stands for same company sold twice for $1 billion. John Wang. I know. All you got to do is just be nice to me, and your likelihood of being a billionaire. David Rorsheim. www.duck9.com. www.duck9.com. Paul Thompson. You see, Paul Thompson could have said, Larry, I hate you. You went to Stanford for free. I had to pay $300K to go to Harvard. He didn't say, I hate you. He said, hey, can we study buddy the Harvard textbook? Because your textbook notes on the book, like you Web 12 the shit out of it. He didn't say that. He said, you owned that class. You made that class your pony. My feet are too big. My feet are too big. My feet are too big. If you buy me shoes, buy me size 14. Don't even buy me shoes. Just send me a gift card. What Buster, my horse, is saying is, he's saying this. He's saying, Paul Thompson could have been mean to me, but instead of trying to drag me down to Harvard as my safety school, dragging me down by saying, you didn't even graduate the University of Illinois, which I don't know how that rumor started. Oh, wait, I do know how that rumor started because some people can't read. Because I quit the University of Illinois every night, and in the morning, I re-enrolled. That's how to sleep when you're depressed. Are you depressed right now? Maybe you're depressed because somehow in the time of the easiest money printing since printing or money began, how do you not have 200K cash sitting in your bank account? How? If you're depressed, you should be depressed. And if you're able to swallow what I'm giving you, know that sliced bread is your dating app. Paul Thompson, www.duck9.com. David Rorsheim, www.duck9.com. Deeply Understanding Credit Knowledge, my last YouTube live. Deeply Understanding Capital Knowledge, Deeply Understanding Venture Capital Knowledge, David Rorsheim, right on the homepage, associate at Draper Fisher Jurvetson. Larry, I hear Tim Draper is your friend. Larry, I hear Steve Jurvetson is your friend. Larry, I hear that David Rorsheim, you made a billionaire. You are now meeting the third institution of Silicon Valley for the 500th time. I'm batting 1,000 when it comes to retarded blondes with big boobs. Think about that. Think about that. Do you know how hard that is? Do you know why they separate men's chests from women's chests? And I'm not saying they're separating men's chest from women's chest. Does the West Point vibe come through? West Point Surface Academy, it's my safety school. West Point begged me to come, begged me. They're like, if you come to West Point, guys like you can become president. And it's free. My dad's like, West Point? West Point, like, holy shit. You're gonna go to college to kill people? That's the worst idea I've ever heard. West Point. The recruiter from West Point, ditto. Mark Marquez, Larry, going to the University of Illinois is gonna be the biggest mistake you'll ever make. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Here's a bigger mistake, which is not a mistake. Stanford University, Mark Marquez Center for Students and Athletes. Do you want to go to a building named the Larry Chang Building for I didn't go to Stanford? Nobody wants to go to that building, okay? Plus, Larry Chang, he's an institution. He's always on campus. So no, I don't want to go to the Larry Chang Center for dudes who say no to Stanford, but then donated money for a building. I don't want to go to that. Plus, I know Larry Chang. I think he's at business school class right now. Paul Thompson, David Rorsheim. When I say go to a Stanford business school class, what are you thinking? Are you thinking you can't learn off of a YouTube video? Because when I say Stanford Business or Stanford Engineering, and you say, I can't learn Stanford Engineering because Larry, I'm honestly 13 years away from a 4-year engineering degree at fucking NC motherfucking State. I could graduate NC State Engineering in a year. Can you learn something at the 7th grade level just because it's Stanford Business? Like, does that intimidate you? Oh wait, you can't even cold approach a 5 girl or a 5 guy. You can't cold approach. You have social anxiety. A YouTube video done at the 7th grade level, it intimidates you. The only way you learn ever is where you sit with the third institution of Silicon Valley, who has literally no standards. I have no standards. You don't even need to be a pulse. I get a feeling that half of you guys are NPCs. Stanford, if you want a shot at Stanford, if you're white or Chinese, you got to play at least one professional revenue sport while rocking a 1600 on your SATs. I realize that there are very few Africans that attend Stanford. But this is what I have as a question for the entire continent of Africa. Has anything ever been invented in Africa in the history of humanity? Because don't say the pyramids, because don't say it. Don't say it! You like how I say the things that are real? Paul Thompson, David Rorsheim, Larry Chang, www.duck9.com. You see, Paul Thompson could have said, Larry, I hate you. You're so confident. But instead, he said, maybe I can promote you. Would you consider speaking at your safety school, Harvard? And not at the business school, yawn, but at the law school. You see, if you speak at the law school, they're going to entertain the fact that they don't want to keep on beating up on the retards over at the business school. You see, law school people, they think that business school people are partying all the time while being retarded. Harvard Law School, are you tired of making fun of Harvard Business? Yes. Harvard Law School, would you like to make fun of Stanford Business? Yes. That's why humor drives this whole thing, because nobody wants to meet the smartest person in Silicon Valley explaining to people, hey, here's the problem. 0 to 1 billion, Peter Thiel. That's a problem because you're not going from 0 to 1 even million. You're going from negative 15,000 to 0, then positive 600K. Earlier, someone accused me of having family money. That's also what they accuse Elon Musk of. Oh, it's family money. When you just say, oh, it's family money, you're saying you have $15,000 in credit card debt, and you're also saying that you don't have a dad. Yes, people with no dad, they all say, Larry, everybody's got a dad. You know what I mean by saying you don't have a dad. I'm saying that your dad took off. I'm saying you're in denial about the fact that people that get raised by a female and a male tend to not be half as fucked up. That's why you do OnlyFans. Am I switching genders? Because a man without a dad acts like a man without a dad. A female of the Homo sapiens gender species, a female without a dad is looking for a sugar daddy. That sugar daddy is going to cause her to go bankrupt. This is why I get hot girls. Have I told you I'm batting 1,000 when it comes to blonde billionaires? This is why I get hot girls to buy me things. This is why last year I spent $0.0. Because I'm not going to talk to you about business models, because for some reason people can't understand more than two business models. Business model 1, beg, borrow, steal money. Number 2, dollars per hour. That's it. You have two business models. What is your ass model? Oh, I'm black pill Larry. I've given up on dating. I'm black pill Larry. I've never bought a girl dinner on a dinner date. That's ass model because you have no ass model. You have no ass and no model. You have no ass model. If you have no ass model with no hope of going to second or third base, remember I'm Christian, so third base max. 3B maxing. 3B maxing. These jokes just write themselves. 3B maxing is me saying, blow me. But blow me is so, like, because if I say to a girl, blow me, she'll be like, cool, buy me dinner afterwards. Now I'm screwed. But if I'm 3B maxing, 3 X's, 1 G. 3B maxing is just like Japanese maxing because I'm Chinese. People were not Chinese maxing a shortstop. They just weren't. Except for Augie Garrido, okay? Except for Augie Garrido, which is why I say thank you to Augie Garrido in every prayer because I did that boy dirty. If you don't know who Augie Garrido is, okay, it's cool that you're not heterosexual and you don't like baseball. That's cool. Augie, A-U-G-I, like August. Garrido, like the #1 most winningest baseball coach, who's best friends with this guy. He's best friends with him. He's best friends with him. Augie Garrido, fighting over Larry Chang, 3B maxing. You see, when you blow me and you're like, okay, my turn, I'm like, no, I'm Christian. Blow me, that's Christian. Well, I'm saving cunnilingus for my 10th anniversary. How Christian am I? Do you see why Larry the Starfish is really Larry the Starfish? Paul Thompson, David Rorsheim, Larry Chang, in a 3-way testimony for Duck 9, save $600,000. I am full of money. I don't want to steward any more money. Okay, I will, but not poor people money. I want to steward rich people money. 1 + 1 will always equal 11. Some things never change. No, it's 1 + 1 equals Web 12, you absolute retard. You absolute retard. You're trying to teach me math. 1 + 1 does not equal 11. 1 + 1 equals 12. I don't know what that means, but it sounds provocative. I'm gonna make you a moderator. Sir, it's not 2005 anymore. Wake up. What? It's 2026 days of Christmas. Yo, are you on drugs? People who are on drugs ask, are you on drugs? Why is that? It's like the 4K projection of drugs. Speaking of drugs, I am on water, and my water. L-theanine. I was right. Look, page 344. I was right. Remember before when I said, cheers, green tea, what kind of drugs are you on? L-theanine? Dangerously low. I was like, it's page 344. I just looked it up. I was right. What's the answer to if you're on drugs? Again, not on drugs unless you call it L-theanine, which is page 344. It's the chemical compound inside of green tea. No nicotine, no, just water. Just water. Old way. The old way I would pee at a girl's place is I would never poo at her place and pee, but I would bank it off the I would bank it so that way it wouldn't sound like a waterfall into the toilet, and I would try to just let it trickle out, trying to not make a giant waterfall noise. That's old me, and I would definitely not drop off a food dumpling, nor give birth to a food baby, nor would I ever fart at her place. Not that I ever fart. I wish I could fart. I would fart in front of her. New Larry. New Larry is the genius version. I don't know why no one ever taught me this. So I'm at a girl's place and I just took a long flight. I ate so much food. I'm in Paris. I need to, I need to, nature's calling. I gotta poo. She's blonde. She's got big boobs. I have to poo. Not only do I have to drop a deuce at her place, there are other people over. It's a party. Paris, it isn't like America where you could just go drop a deuce in the public, whatever. Like, it's a confined small space. The plumbing, it's also old plumbing. So remember, old Larry would pee quietly, poo never. Larry, when did you change? I changed when I dropped the biggest food baby. Remember, I've been eating all the way from America on the airplane. I've been eating and I didn't need to poo on the airplane, right? I could poo in public. This is why I solved the NFL algorithm because I found out that black people who are millionaires, they got raised in places where they couldn't poo. If they're going to poo in public, they're going to get graped. This is why I solved so many problems, is because I understand shit. So I'm at her place. I got to poo. Oh, to finish off the black athlete thing, the reason that the algorithm for why is this black athlete so horrible on the road is because certain athletes that are millionaires, they can only deuce it out in their home city, in their home bathroom, because they wired their which is why stomach cancer is like a legit thing. Uh, the dude from the superhero movie, he died when he was 30, 40, 30. This is why. Is because we as black people are worried about sexual assault in the men's bathroom. Larry, have you thought about using baby oil as a lube? Yes, I solved Biggie and Tupac's murders. It was a hate crime. It was a hate crime. It was revenge. When you make an enemy out of a man by violating his butthole, he's going to be pissed. He's going to be pissed. He might not talk. Tupac, Biggie, all the world's problems solved before this video ends. So I got a problem. I need to I need to I need to drop off a ginormous first class food baby. I'm dropping it off in her bathroom. There are so many hot girls outside of the bathroom. Have you ever needed to drop a food baby so bad that the turtle head popping made it almost feel like it was going to be diarrhea? I wish it were diarrhea. I never have diarrhea. It's always Bristol 4. You see, solid poop, it's going to ruin French plumbing because French people, stop making fun of Chinese people for being little. Chinese men are ginormous giants compared to French cabbage men. French cabbage men are little men. Little men drop little poo. I'm dropping a ginormous record setting poop fresh from America. Did I tell you I just landed in Paris? There were at least 30 hot girls outside of my door, in addition to the girl who was hosting me. There was nowhere else to go. I thought about duging it out in the hallway. There's nowhere else to go. Have you been to Paris? There's no first floor bathroom. That was my old technique. I'm on the road and I'm not going to poop in my 2-bedroom suite that my co founder paid for. He's not even there. I'm using his credit card. Ditto Roelof Botha's credit card. Ditto Ken Howry's credit card. This is why I'm still rich, because I never pay for anything. It doesn't matter how rich I am. There is no first floor bathroom. I need to go. It's a party, and I'm dropping my first deuce. Guess what happens to the toilet? It gets clogged up. Not only does everybody sort of smell it, because it actually smells pretty good because I'm super healthy. So I'm not worried about that. I just assumed that it would flush. It stops up the entire floor. Guess who gets the plunger out? The hot girl who's hosting me. I not only want to die, I want to. I don't even. I've never, like, come on. Like, she's having to go plunger it. You know how people that are born again in Christ, they're born again? So I was born again before that, but then I became born again, like Jason Bourne in Paris, because she completely was wanting to show me that she's willing to get into my shit. And she was apologizing to me for having to plunger my shit. I've never seen a girl so live up my asshole that I got over my embarrassment, because she was trying to make sure that I still could perform later. So she was actively trying to not make me feel embarrassed while making sure that I was going to put out later. And I was saying to myself, wait a minute, are you saying these things to make sure that I give it to you later? What? And not to sound like I really enjoy bathroom humor or crass, but that's when I understood that I understood now everything about everything, because what I'd been thinking before was using my own low 200 IQ, 280 IQ brain. Like, I had no idea, because she was plunging it and she was making sure, as I was being embarrassed, that she was playing 5D. She was playing 5 dimension. 4 dimensional chess is where you're trying to get into my pants. I can see what you're doing. You're playing 4 dimensional, trying to, like, get me to take my pants off, and then you're trying to, like, mooch in your girlfriend. I see what you're doing. Okay, I've seen what you're doing. I see what you're doing. I'm not going to fall for it. Hello, no. Okay, no means third base only. No means maybe because I'm a man. No means maybe. No means maybe, but no means no. And then when I say no, I know that you I know that you hear no and you hear it as maybe. When you hear no, you hear it as, oh, yes, oh, yeah. Where I'm like, no, no means no. which is why when women say, "Hey, how about a three-way?" I'm like, "Yes, I've never had one." And then they're like, "Ew." I mean, we don't want to do it anymore. This is when I became the vagina whisperer, but I didn't call myself that because I was like this hot blonde with ginormous big boobs, okay? Ginormous boobs, super smart, okay? Made a ton of money, was making sure that me and my stinky butt, which wasn't stinky because when I drop off a poop, I drop off the kind of poop where I don't even need to wipe. It's kind of like a dog. He just drops off perfect poop and then the butthole just works perfectly. My butthole, it works perfectly. That's why when dogs sniff me in the butthole, they're like, "Wow, you're really healthy. You'll never die." I'm like, "Thank you. I know. Can't stop, won't stop, perfect boost stops." Which is, I watched her play 5D chess with my dick because she was plunging it, okay? She was just getting into that French toilet and she was plunging it and goes, "Oh, this happens all the time. Don't worry." She has a dozen hot friends going, "Oh my God, she must really like you. Why don't you get in there and plunger it?" Because I'm like, shouldn't I get in there? She's like, "No, no, no. This happens all the time. Go enjoy an appetizer. Go enjoy. I made you a drink." I'm like, "Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God." I could be not more embarrassed. But then I realized because my soul, it left my body. It left my body. I was no longer Larry Chang, skinny Asian guy. "You're just a skinny Asian guy. What are you? What are you? Only 230 pounds? You're just a skinny Asian guy. You got a pencil neck." Beta males telling me I'm skinny is thank you for telling me about my V. Thank you. Because proportionally, I could be a print model. Oh, wait, I changed that algorithm too. Exactly. Lady shoulders. Exactly. Because me standing next to a 6'1" blonde girl makes me make her look like a spinner, which is I've dated girls who are more than 175 pounds who I call spinners. You're a loser. What a pure, sad, delusional loser. India has chimed in. Welcome. Welcome, South Asians. Welcome, South Asians. Welcome, South Asians. All are welcome here. My soul, it leaves my body. It wasn't a near death experience. I've had those. It was similar. My soul left me. I was so embarrassed. But while my soul was out of my body, it saw this girl was saying these things because she was trying to make me not perform later. I'm like, she's there plundering, okay? She's there plundering. She's trying to get that 9, 12 pound doogie into that French plumbing system. She's got just the right wrist and pump method. She's playing 5 dimensional sex. You see, she was setting up her future orgasm. I didn't know it until I left my body. Is this how I became an expert in neurolinguistic programming? Specifically, Matt James, specifically, John Grinder, specifically, Richard Bandler? Because when my soul left my body, watching her plunge, I understood that she herself were a NLP practitioner. This video is still about slices of bread for dating app. You see, she was using toilet plunger as a elixir. You see, she was using poop play why does poop even come into play during sex? It comes into play because little kids rub poop on themselves so that way their mother's younger brother doesn't touch them. My poop play happened in Paris. Did I tell you I dropped a ginormous doogie? I ate the entire flight. I ate and slept the entire flight. It was a recipe for I'm going to land, I'm going to jog, and oh my God, my circadian rhythm is set. Now I got to drop off a ginormous doogie. Bread Slices as a dating app. This is hot blonde who's probably a billionaire plundering my poop. This is my first poop play. Because when my soul left my body, it understood. She's a neuro linguistic expert. She's trying to talk to, she's trying to talk to, she's going to talk her way into my pants. Because she was saying, don't worry about it. She was saying, oh, this happens all the time. Her wrist action, you could tell she played a D1 sport to get into college. And then now she was feeling imposter complex because all of her girlfriends, she was peeing on me to observe property. You see, the way a boy dog pees to gain more property, more territory, I understood because my soul had left my body. I understood she was doing the one thing, but she was doing 12 things, which is nobody's going to sleep with my guy because you don't bring me to a party with women. Like you just don't do that, especially if we haven't DTR'd. You just don't do that. So while she was plundering the toilet, she was telling her girlfriends, I'm going to sleep with that. And then I understood everything about everything, which is maybe the first thing I should do at any girl's place is drop a ginormous doogie. Let me repeat that because maybe you don't understand English because it's your first and only language. The first thing I do now is I say, can I use your bathroom? And I'm not asking you to use your bathroom so I can come inside your door. I'm asking you to use your bathroom because I'm going to drop off at least a small baby of food. I'm not trying to say, can I use your bathroom so I can get in to see your place? The first person to poo wins. I do not bring in poo play. I'm not going to poop in the shower. Nobody touched me when I was little except for two girls who were 24 and 25. I was 11. Poop play would not have helped. Poop as protection, that would not have helped that situation. Me not looking like I was 30, that probably would have helped. Me not being tall and hot, that probably would have helped. That's when I flipped the switch of what else that's common sense that's completely incorrect. It is completely incorrect to go to the University of Illinois thinking that it'd be an easier college because it's not as distinguished. You see, Stanford, Harvard has great inflation. Those colleges are actually easy. If I told you about Stanford Engineering 145, that shit's written, because I wrote it, at the 7th grade level, okay? It's because foreign students get offended. Hey, I don't understand what the fuck's going on. Dumb it down, dumb it down, dumb it down. We can't dumb it down anymore. And then UC San Diego said, oh my God, we do need to dumb it down more because a quarter of the people can't do math at the 7th, 8th, 9th grade level. Can't read. So you're in competition with people that can't read. Once I started to drop an immediate doogie, that replaced my need to even spend any money going on dates. Is I literally will just go to a place and poo. There is a social media picture of a super hot girl who is in my bathroom. The picture doesn't connotate the smell. I used to go to the lobby to drop a doogie. If we're sharing a hotel room, I know 2-bedroom hotels have 2 bathrooms, but I'm going to poo where her makeup is. You know how when you're hanging out with a girl, she is in your room and she takes over the bathroom. The entire bathroom is covered in makeup square footage, okay? There's no counter space anywhere. And if you're in one of those nice hotels, it's got an L-shaped counter. That's where I poo. And I'm not gonna say I do it with the door open, but some nice hotels, the door closes, so your bathroom door has 2 bathroom doors. Oh, I'm not closing that bathroom door. I'm just closing the one door, maybe. Because during COVID, girls would come over to my place. They would pee and poo with the door open. I didn't know what they were doing. Have I adjusted my poo game? Yeah, a little bit. I have. But the thing that the moral of the story is your brain is a filthy liar. Busy Gold. Your brain is currently running chapters 1 through 5 of Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, Pruning, chapter 11, Joe Dispenza. Chapter 11, Pruning Away Your Old Self. You see, I died in her bathroom in Paris. Old Larry died. New Larry can deuce it out anywhere. I do so well right now that I should be getting a PhD in gastrointestinal. These are not jokes for joking's sake. This is me understanding shit so well that I applied it to student athlete truths. I'll just speak plainly because our time here is limited. Because you might think I have a lot of pairs of the same shoe. You might think that I date the same girl over and over and over. You see, what you see as multiple pairs of shoes, I see as a tremendous ass model and business model, because sometimes people, they try to say beta male shit, which is, Larry, do you always wear the same pair of shoes? Do you always wear the same pair of shoes? Do you always dress the same every day? You only have one pair of shoes, don't you? Yeah, you could say yap, 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 or you could say, my dad took off, Larry. I was raised by a single mom. Yeah, so when you say yap, 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 I want to make you a moderator. There you go. Oh, you thought you were asking the question, this is why there are so many shoes, is I will then say, would you like to bet me that you will never see me in these shoes ever again? And they're like, yeah, bet. That's because alpha males, they love to bring us beta males down. Because alpha males, true alphas make betas into alphas. That's what I'm trying to do with you and your broken brain. Because finishing the poop in the shit is, once you understand that my soul left my body, I understood everything about everything. It's like that person who comes back to Earth, drug-free, clear, limitless. Because some people would have just kept it in. If you would have kept it in, it would have started to poison me. I dropped off, not joking, 14 pounds of poo. The Parisian plumbing system. The Parisian plumbing system. It turns out athletes who can't perform on the road, they're dragging ass. Have you heard? Hey, at home he's great, but on the road he just drags ass. I thought you ran a 4.640, Larry. Why is it you're always dragging ass? Are you going to have a good day or a bad day? Are you going to be superstar Larry, or are you going to be dragging ass? You see, later in the bedroom, I performed like a superstar. I also showered because I was like, do you mind if I shower? And she's like, no, I don't mind at all. I'm like, uh-oh, are you going to eat my butt? Like, what are you, what? Like, nobody's that enthused about a guy going to take a shower, okay? Nobody's that happy. Yeah, I welcome it. And she's like, oh no, that's not what I meant. Like, because I pooed. She showers me. I am 3 years old. She is washing my starfish like she's going to eat it. I have no idea what's going on right now. I'm like, only you, just you. I'm not gonna have sex with anybody else, just you, okay? Just you. Don't be like, ha ha ha, 2 more friends, Larry, 2 more friends. You're gonna be homeless. You have to stay over. You see, when alpha males try to say, you're not alpha, I'm like, thank you. I wish I were beta. Because when you're 6'1" and you're 11 years old, you grow up kind of too fast. What we're doing with the shoes is I need to know who's going to be a retarded alpha dropping or a smart alpha rising. This is why if you look up Quora, is Larry Chang the Paris Hilton of Silicon Valley? Quora is people can't read, and once people start to talk shit, they tell you exactly how much money they're going to be making for you. So when losers say something like, Larry loves rim jobs, no, because I'm gonna need to make out with her, and that's why I don't do 3-ways. Which is, do you live in Tombstone? Oh, you're Asian? You don't have to compensate, bro. Like, you thinking, you even saying the word Asian, that's offensive to me. It's offensive because you're telling me that you're Indian or Pakistani. That's why it's offensive. It's offensive. It's Oriental or Chinese. I prefer the Oriental cowboy. I prefer it because you're obviously not a Caucasian person, because if you were, you would say, all hail Larry Chang, the coolest Caucasian guy who's co-founder of a joke franchise called Caucasian Engineers of America. You see, we're letting in plenty of black engineers into college. We're letting in plenty, not enough, white engineers into college. We need more, because if more Caucasian people aren't engineers, Chinese people don't get to go to college. That's why the co-founders of Caucasian Engineers of America are all Chinese. What we're doing with the shoes, okay, what we're doing with the shoes is I need to know who's willing to put their money where their mouth is. I need to know, are you going to be a retarded PM, portfolio manager? Is Larry the Starfish better at managing a 9-figure fund than you are? Deeply understanding credit knowledge and credit obligations, deeply understanding capital knowledge and risk, deeply understanding VCPE, deeply understanding Chinese knowledge, doing a turnaround. Can you turn around a Parisian toilet? Can you turn around your hot Chinese guy who's visiting you from America? Can you turn around his trip? He's embarrassed as fuck right now. He just clogged up your toilet. Because when guys say he wears the same shoes every day, it's a person who went to Princeton. No, Dartmouth. They went to Dartmouth, but let's be honest, they went to a shitty state school. That shitty state school was their reach school. When they Googled Larry Chang, they saw Stanford, 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 and they got intimidated. You see me for 3 days, you think I wear the same shoes every day, and you say, I judge a man based on the quality of his shoes. He wears the same pair of shoes every day. Where obviously, if you were to pay attention, they're slightly different. They're at different wears. Which is why what you see as 9 pairs of shoes spiking up to 10, 11, 12 is actually the shoes that are paying for themselves, because I'm going to bet you some simple bets that are, you will see me playing basketball in Jordan 7s. You will never see me in the same pair of Jordan 7s. You'll never see me in the same pair of Jordan 7s. Because you can't play 3 to 4 hours of basketball per day wearing the same pair of shoes. Your shoes are going to kill your ankle. And also, buying a new pair of Jordan 7s every time you play, that's inviting some black person to mug you to steal the 3 pairs of shoes that you currently are carrying on your person. It's not black fatigue, I get it. You want to steal a pair of size 14 shoes. This is why I have these Jordan 7s with Nike Air, because then I can drop the Jeter Jordan story. Then I can make money 100 different ways. Because the rich people, they're going to say, let me guess, do you have 6 pairs of those shoes? You know, my mentor, I go to his house, he's got like 10 pairs of the same shoes. He never wears the same pair of shoes twice. You see, rich people keep getting richer because rich people don't say retarded things. And once people start to say retarded things, I'll tell them, yo, hey, you're saying some retarded shit. Top 10 reasons Silicon Valley hates Bitcoin. Reason number 15, boat. They missed the boat. 14, blackmail. You thought I was saying blackmail stealing shoes. It's black M-A-I-L. You don't think I'd drop a hard R. Hard R coming, retard. Web3 is still a thing to VCs in Silicon Valley. That's 13. Do you know what the Overton window is? Because perfectly U12. The Overton windows, they are a shifting. Larry, let me tell you about your algorithm. The Cantillon effect. I don't need you to subscribe. Subscriptions don't drive distribution. Content, Web 4, the Cantillon effect. The most important listener is me in the future doing an edit, but AI in the present, AI, AGI. Number 11, the Cantillon effect. It's called AI, AGI. Why? Because it's American intelligence, Asian guy intelligence. This is deeply understanding Chinese knowledge. You see, AI, AGI used to be artificial intelligence, artificial general intelligence when AI becomes sentient. There is nearly zero risk of a retarded machine controlled by Jewish and Indian people ever gaining sentience via Wave 2 AI. We're not leaving Wave 2 AI almost ever. The thing that I'm paying attention for AI ending the planet is when a dog gets an opposable thumb. Have you seen those dogs that can press a button and say a word? That's the thing that people should be worried about, because that's called Wave 5 AI. Have you seen Rick and Morty episode 1 where the dogs take over using AI? That's when AI loses, not when AI is stuck on Web 2 trying to not try to boil the ocean, need to boil the ocean in order to run a data center. Am I on drugs? I'm using American intelligence, you absolute tard. What? What about the 23 days of OpenAI at South by Southwest? What is wrong with you, dude? Your hashtag for you getting banned before because you won't get out of your own black prison that you're in a prison with no bars. Well, technically everybody is. I left that prison when I took a dump in that hot blonde's place. That's when I left prison. And then I realized I could drop a doogie over at some super hot girl's place and she'll be like, oh, are we in a relationship? Let me do whatever you want. Let me do whatever you want. Let me do whatever you want. Oh, cool. What I want is, I want some food. Will you buy me some dinner? Yeah, I'll DoorDash anything you want. I get unlimited DoorDash. I want fresh food. I want Michelin star food. I only want to eat the food that DoorDash won't deliver. I'm not joking. I only eat food that DoorDash doesn't deliver. Have you ever been to Evia Kokari? Larry, what's Evia? It sounds like we can deliver that food and make money. Hello? Is this your first Larry Chang YouTube video? I don't want to eat food that DoorDash delivers. I don't want to eat that food. That's common. I want off-menu food. Have I convinced you now that I'm rich? Because you thinking that I might be poor is because your dad left you and you have no dad. That's sentence number 1, the road less traveled, which is sins of the father. Have you seen that viral picture where I pose with a book called The Road Less Traveled? This is me leaving my body, okay? I was so embarrassed, I died. Larry Chang died, and then Larry Chang got reborn because she jumps in the shower and she's like, is there room here for me? In a Parisian shower, the answer is fucking no, okay? Fuck no. But if you're gonna clean up my shit, because I shit in your shitter, you can have the majority of the hot water. I'll just let my ginormous bubble ass just hang out the shower. Is there room for me? Fuck no. There is no room for you. But since you literally cleaned my shit, I will make room for you. I even ate vagina that night. If I'm gonna be honest, I never eat vagina. I ate vagina that night. I ate vagina that night. I am not embarrassed to say that I ate vagina that night because she cleaned up my shit. Because she cleaned up my shit. I'm not saying all girls need to clean up my shit because that's not, it's, I don't repeat that. I don't have to repeat trauma. Did I just pray her gay away? Yeah, because I forgave myself for having to poo. Which is vagina whisperer. Nope, that's not true. That's not true. I'm saving cunnilingus for, if you haven't eaten vagina in a period of time, my mouth is virginal. But for my 10th anniversary of my 10-year anniversary, that's called the cunnilingus anniversary, where I will eat my wife's vagina. Why? Because she's gonna think that I'm constantly cheating on her. And then I'll be able to retort, which I won't cheat on her. Why? Because I carry a sidearm. I said no. And normally no means maybe, but no means no. I'm married in the future. So when I come back smelling like vagina on the outside of my clothes, not on my dick, she's gonna say, did you cheat on me? I'm like, no, but if I did cheat on you, know that I didn't eat her vagina. And she'd be like, keep those checks coming. Keep those checks coming. Yeah, which is eating vagina on the 10th anniversary of marriage. It's kicking the can down the road of, hey, I did that for you, Larry. What are you gonna do for me? That night I did eat vagina. That night I did say yes to my shower because I kind of like to shower on my own, right? I don't want company in the shower. No, there's no room for you, okay? Even in an American shower, there's no room for you, okay? Will I ever get personal space if I can't shower alone, right? But if you're going to plunger, her wrist movement in like getting the plunger just right, like that was a feat of fluid dynamics. Like being able to trap air, push the air and water to push the shit down a shitty Parisian plumbing system. When I left my body, I was marveling at fluid dynamics, marveling at it. You might think that Larry Chang sounds like a gold digger, but you're not understanding that Larry Chang is a gold digger, which is why I'm batting 1,000 when it comes to blonde billionaires. Because then I started to ask myself the question, the empowering question, what if my hot face weren't just all about slaying blondes who have big boobs? What if I got women to never get sex, but then do a bunch of entrepreneurship shit that would lead to their own success? Gold digging. And then I discovered that I'm the vagina whisperer, not because I'm a pussy magnet, but because I watched what happened to women when they got told no for the first time in their life. And on the other side of having to fail forward from no, because when your mom teaches you about how sex works, it's basically not letting anybody ever touch your vagina or get in there. As a man, you have to teach your son, I'm sorry that your dad left you, okay? You got no dad. You had no dad. Your dad wanted to fuck other people and not take care of you. Forgive him. So if your dad did stick around and did teach you this, which is men are taught if you have a ginormous erection that the entire class can see, even though you're sitting down in first row of Miss Bacetto's class, you're going to need to not show it. You're going to need to hide it, even though your body's saying no. And let's say Miss Bacetto, blonde, big boobs, comes over and talks to you. She saunters over and she's like, Larry, little Larry, how tall are you now? Oh my gosh, you're taller than I am. Well, listen, little Larry, PQRST. Meanwhile, I am flag all the way up the pole. I'm about to burst. Larry, PQRST. Preview question, read, summarize, test. You might be wondering if that was another time I left my body. No, I was in my body, but then I remember, Larry, Confucius say, when you've got a ginormous erection, Confucius say, when you have a ginormous erection, you must focus. You must focus. You must focus. You must focus blood. Blood go from little head to the big head. I know that sounded like Greta, but I don't have a Chinese accent. It just sounds like Greta. You must take little head and put blood into big head. Do you know who Big Head is? Big Head is Larry Chang teaching at Stanford on Silicon Valley HBO. His name is Big Head Todd Biggetti. And he goes to Stanford, and then Stanford's like, go fucking teach. I'm like, bro, what am I, in Irv Grossbeck's class? Fuck you, you're gonna have me fucking teach. Fuck yourself. Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club. I'm ending this for you guys. YouTube, not ending. Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club. You see, with Vagina Whisperer, it's not Pussy Magnet. Being able to take blood from our vagina because we're massively turned on and shoving it into our brain, because this is what women say when they're not getting it. Oh, are you gay? You must be gay. Because women have historically handled rejection. Have you heard the expression, hell hath no scorn, like a woman's scorn? Hell hath no fury as a woman's scorn from a sexual rejection. This is why if you're only going to take women to my third base, I think tip number one might be at the tip of my tongue, but I don't know. I think what you're talking about is Stamford with an M in Connecticut, Stamford. I think that's what you're talking about. Because that mall is pretty good. So is the Stanford Mall in California. That mall is pretty good too. Because when you're taking your blood from your bean right now, it's throbbing. Your bean right now, it's swollen. Your entire chakra 6, chakra 7, it's swollen. This is the ability to learn how to manage our vagina by listening to a man with no vagina tell you, what if you rerouted the blood that was currently in your vulva? I realize that you just ovulated. You can't unovulate your ovulation. That's not possible. But what is possible is redirecting the blood. Congratulations, you did just ovulate. But what if you took that ovulation energy and that fallopian tube of gravitational pull and you routed some of the blood to your brain? This would be brain number 3. It's in our vagina. You see, brain number 2, it's not working super well for you. You're eating too many microwave meals. You don't cook food. You think applying flavor and heat in the transfer of heat and flavor to food is somehow toxic feminism. And then you'd be right, because that's how these jokes work, is I'm coming into your brain sapiosexually. I'm coming into your brain because your vagina, it's just a lady boner. You've used the word lady boner before. So I had to redirect my boner when Miss Bassetto, she knew what she was doing to me. I think she liked it. I'm getting nervous because it feels like it's about to be a 3-way again. It feels like it because I rerouted my boner energy, my woody energy, to my brain. That's why I'll never forget PQRST. Ms. Bassetto taught me that. I'm having a flashback, flash forward, flashback. This is poop plunging girl playing 5D chess with my penis, because she's about to have orgasm number 2 through 20. I didn't know that she already had orgasm 1 when she was plunging the toilet. PQRST revisited. I'm a senior at the University of Illinois. I could have graduated 2 years ago. I'm a senior. And I'm like, what is this retard center called the Learning Center? Like, we're at the University of Illinois. Like, what the fuck is a learning center? Like, is this the short bus for retards? Remember, I'm graduating. I literally DGAF. I have a 9-figure business and I got the highest starting salary already. So I'm at the Learning Center, probably because some girl dragged me there. I don't remember what I was doing at the Learning Center. I learned real good. Me learn good. So I'm at the Learning Center and there's this pamphlet. Would you like to learn how to speed read? I'm like, listen, my GPA is too low to go to med school or business school. I think after I ace this next final that I don't even need to take, because at the University of Illinois, you don't have to take finals if you've aced the regular season. I'm like, can I just come take the final anyway? And they're like, well, you can take the final, and if you get a C or higher, you don't even need to take the class. I'm like, what? What? That's when I learned that nothing at the University of Illinois was as advertised. Nothing. Which is why in Silicon Valley, it's run by U of I people, because there are all these glitches in the school system. Let me repeat that. If you're doing well in an engineering class, you didn't need to take the final. They just locked you in. I'm like, bonus. But this is also something that I learned at the University of Illinois, is that we're all going to be going to the University of Illinois. It's called the Great Depression. And I know that that's going to confuse people, because we're all forced right now to go play in a system called it's just like the University of fucking Illinois. New shit popping up all the time. You did not go to ASU. Well, that does sort of make sense. Do you know that ASU football has only graduated one engineer in like 3 years, whereas there's 20 engineers right now enrolled playing football at Stanford? This is how the math works. There are more engineers graduating in 1 year out of Stanford engineering in football than 10 years of some other college. So I'm at the Learning Center, and there's this little pamphlet. It's called, Would You Like to Learn? Called, Would You Like to Learn How to Speed Read? I'm like, speed read? I'm graduating. My GPA is too low to go to med school. I got the highest starting salary. I'm setting that record. I got a 9-figure business, Duck 9. The fuck do I need speed reading for? So then I open it, and it's PQRST. Preview, question, read, summarize, test. Coincidentally, not coincidentally, it's also 62, 64, 67. Turbo Hike, Chapter 14, Chapter 4. Turbo Hike, Chapter 13. Hut. Did you jump off sides? Did you think it was done? Because Miss Bacetto teaching me what they already taught me at the Learning Center, and I was like, oh my God, speed reading, preview, question, read, summarize, test. You see, my erection sitting front row where Miss Bacetto had assigned seats. I had to sit front row. She would talk to me super close. I still remember what she smells like. I did not know that girls had feeling in their boobs through their sweater. This is how dumb I am. Learning Center. My penis actually connects to Tom Brady speed reading NFL defenses because all you're doing to play football, which Andrew Luck, I got 4 years left of eligibility. You love me. I think I could be a pro quarterback. Striver Labs. No E in Striver. Labs like chemistry. Larry, is it true you're going to name a building at Stanford the Steven Zumdahl Chemistry Building? Is it true? Is that true? Is that even true? Is that even true? Which is, there's 2 S's and 1 T. Bacetto, like bass. Oh my God, her boobs. Oh my God, her boobs. People that say they like butt instead of boobs, it's because they don't think they can get big boobs. Not going to mention my Eskimo brother, Elon Musk, naming a college boobs. These aren't jokes, folks. Texas Institute Technology and Sciences and Social Studies is tits, boobs. My phone number is boob. I really like boobs. Not because I really like boobs, but every time a girl doesn't have nice boobs, she's mentally angry at the world for not having boobs. And then she can't handle dating me because she's like, you're just going to cheat on me with a girl with big boobs. Like, I'm not going to, but if you ask me 10,000 more times and you penalize me for shit that your dad did, I'm going to find a blonde with big boobs. Flog away. Flog your dolphin. Flog your dolphin as much as you'd like. Flog away. I consent to you flicking your bean. I consent. This is a safe space for all women. I can't not give consent because I retroactively did give you consent. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Women pretending to be men, pretending to be women, that's every time during the 2020s, 1920s, 1720s, 1620s, which is your hashtag SXP, which is hashtag CHA11SXP. You're dangerously teetering on treating this like it's an African campfire as a hollerback girl. Because this is not an African campfire. This is a transferal of knowledge with humor, which is you having to do some kind of money-making activity. You can't stand next to me and fuck my fallout. You can't stand next to me and say, oh, Larry, I'll just eat vagina of the girls that you reject. Admit it. You're treating this like it's an African campfire. What this is YouTube social media, Web 2 becoming Web 12, which is Chapter 11 SXP, your initials for your fake account, which is SXP. What we're talking about is sliced bread as your dating app. Because during a Great Depression, if you've got a slice of bread, a girl's gonna wanna ride your D for a slice of bread. Oh, I know. That's the stage that we're at right now, which is we're thinking about taxing the billionaires with a half-written set of rules on tax law. Do you not realize that tax law needs to be written out? Because politics. Don't hurt people and take away their possessions. Once you start hurting people and taking away their possessions, price controls are coming next. It's history repeating itself. That's why this video is hilarious, is because I went ahead and read ahead in the book. It's called the book of, I'm no longer gonna use LinkedIn as my dating app. Now I'm gonna use slices of bread as a dating app. Well, that's what you're gonna do. Me, I'm gonna make women bring over a slice of bread, some cheese, and salami. Basically, 3 months worth of wages. If 3 months worth of wages is too expensive, I'm gonna make her bring over $275,000. That's what I did when the economy was booming. Now that we're in a Great Depression, where the money making is localized, where rich people just getting richer, Larry. That's the Cantillon effect for money. That's bullet point number 11. Maybe you won't write down Cantillon. Maybe you don't think that rich people keep getting richer, but there's a reason that rich people don't post social media, because rich people, they don't want to get kidnapped. Rich people, they're starting to pretend to be poor. Rich people stand next to the money printer. This is why every socialist country has a billionaire with each family member making billions. Have you seen the Biden-Trump family? It's the same family. It's a family of retards where you're trying to give your kid a job making $3 million a month. Larry, you sound like you were pimping hoes. Your low socioeconomic language sounds like you're still sitting by that same African campfire. We're not in an African campfire. You're trying to fluff me up, and I'm trying to transfer you some money. You're literally trying to fluff me up, fluffer. Are you a fluffer? No homo. No homo, are you a fluffer? You're either sitting by an African campfire or you're a fluffer. Because I'm telling you the hashtag that you can use to make $800, which is chapter 11 SXP. Do you have any questions about that? You don't have any questions about that. You don't have any questions about that because you like the energy, you like the vibe. You can't do independent work. Why is the entire continent of Africa sitting at 0 things ever invented since Africa or history started? This is how to invent 10 things. This is me turning around the continent of Africa. Or African Americans, which is deeply understanding credit knowledge. Are your $300 Michael Jordan shoes keeping you from a free house and a free Porsche? That would be yes. Oh my God, are you meeting Larry Chang, keynote speaker at the Black Caucus for the first time? Oh, I totally do have a black audience. You don't know me. You don't know me. Hard M, hard E. You don't know me. What did I offer that was free? Oh, your people don't know what a library card is. Is that not free? It's in your language, I think it's called biblioteca. Deeply understanding credit knowledge. Open source. Is open source free? Mother scratcher. Is open source free enough for you? Is open source not free enough for you? I got to provide customer service for that. Open source. You saying such retarded shit has caused me to forget the words open source. Like, this is why I do scrum with the retards. Deeply understanding credit knowledge, deeply understanding capital knowledge, deeply understanding venture capital knowledge, deeply understanding Chang knowledge, turnarounds, deeply understanding turnarounds. Do you like that I just changed my company name to being deeply understanding Chang knowledge? That shit's funny. www.duck9.com. Larry, I read the gossip on Quora. Is it true? Is it true? Sarah Park, Lisa Kim, they wrote a Quora post. It was 6:50. TechCrunch, August Capital. Have you been to Silicon Valley before? Two for the Stanford. The pinkies for Stanford too. Stick a pinky in the pink. Have you ever dated a Christian guy who refused to slip it in and only would give you the pinky? Because what because what we're accomplishing, and we are accomplishing, even though we're raw dogging no microphone. What we're accomplishing here is open source HTML. Hypertext markup language. I'm not going to have you code up one line of HTML, which is how to meet ladies HTML programming, because then you'll go down the path, the yellow brick road, not a rabbit hole. People who say go down a rabbit hole have never been down a yellow brick road paved in Bitcoin with ice cream sandwiches along the way. 468 University, Bream, Bitcoin rules everything around me. Because we're headed towards a Great Depression. Typically, the way to get out of a Great Depression 100% of the time is you wage war with another country that needs to kill 40% of its own citizens. Problem solved. Economy gets reset. There's a new default currency. Did we just transition from the Netherlands to UK? Did we go UK to USD? HTML is not even a programming language. Oh, hypertext markup language isn't a programming language? Remember when I got that super hot girl? When I got that super hot girl in Paris to plunge, 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 her wrist action and her trapping that air, because How to Meet Ladies, that's How to Meet Larry. How to Meet Larry, HTML programming, which is she plundered that toilet so that way I would plunder her G-spot. HTML isn't a language. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the super chat. People that can't deuce without splatter don't do the bank it off the side so that way you can take a picture of it. Because sometimes when you poop directly in, you're not dropping a 14-pound baby. It doesn't splash because the poop water connects to the basin. You just realized that I actually am 6'5". Interesting. Because HTML open source coding, shit's not free. Should we DJ in Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club? I feel like we should. Don't want to hold out. Don't want to hold out. This message is held for review. What you think as bait for engagement, so this is the opposite of brain rot. Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club. So instead of it being brain rot, it's brain matriculation. Instead of brain getting ruined, it's you using your brain for the first time. When you're using your brain for your first time, it's going to feel like it's a muscle that you've never used before. You see, slices of bread as your dating app, that's what happens when everybody's forced to swallow a black pill of, I'm gonna try to drink the seawater, I'm so thirsty. You're so high right now that your mind is saying BS. I'm not going to say that you've never been able to read a book before. I'm just saying you can't read 6 pages. Practice your brain. I'm gonna give you 6 pages in 4 good minutes. Because you've not been understanding that this economy, it's been a Great Depression for a while. The middle class, what happened to it? This isn't your first red pill, but maybe if it is, there's been an overt war on the middle class because it's socialism at the very bottom, with non-citizens even getting a handout. Have you seen SNAP benefits? Have you seen Somalia daycare? It gets middle-class people angry. Why are those stoked? Why are the flames getting stoked on getting middle-class people angry? It's because most people are too retarded to do anything about it. All they'll do is pick up their phone. Did you see in Europe where the nightclub caught fire and nobody tried to leave, but people were all trying to get on their phone for some social media credit? I'm not going to say that social media is dying. It's just going to change to a format that's tough to kill, so that way the people are easy to kill. You see, in this point of history, when the money's so fake and the money's dying, this is not the first time that a global reserve currency has died. It turns out the 6,500 times that fake money's been tried, it dies every time, 100% of the time. Here's the truth that I try to get people to swallow while swallowing a delicious cream cookie. Larry, is this some girl or two girls going down on you trying to play Chinese roulette to see who gets the creaminess? No, it's a cookie cream cookie. It's an ice cream sandwich cookie. It's a cream cookie called Cream. Cookies rule everything around me. You see, you thinking that this is a recording makes me realize that I'm going to time you out, but it hurts me more than it hurts you. It hurts me much more than it hurts you. Come back better after your time out. What we're doing with Cream, Cookies Rule Everything Around Me at 468 University, is we're realizing that it's Bream, Bitcoin rules everything around me. Trying to kill 40% of the citizens, that didn't work. It usually always works. Because when the money's dying, one country needs 40% of its citizens to be dead in order to reset. Because governments, they got caught doing some pretty sketchy shit, which is printing money that they didn't have. We don't own the Federal Reserve. We don't have control over it. This is why there need to be rules for money, but no rulers. Because the rulers, they can be regulatorily captured. Is this the most genius video you've ever been to? Thank you. Thank you. Regulatory capture, killing 40% of the citizens. Now that the internet's on and impossible to kill, even with an EMF weapon, even doing an EMP attack, even doing an EMC attack, even doing a EML attack, every kind of attack has countermeasures. Do you know about Bitcoin swaps via paper? Do you know about Bitcoin traded over a CB radio? Do you know about Bitcoin using bounces off the ionosphere? You see, Bitcoin is magical internet money. It'll even work if there's no internet on. US dollars. There is no Chinese yuan currency. There is only the US dollar, the last global reserve. The next one's Bitcoin. But like fluid dynamics, have you ever seen a river flow into an ocean? Sometimes there's a tornado. Maybe that's why my friend Jeff named his company Amazon, because a river has tumultuousness. There's a saying, it's called, anytime you step into a river, it's never the same river twice. That's because a river's changing. Have you also heard of the book that was written about me? It's called By the River of Putty. Larry Chang sat down and said, oh my God, there's so much vagina everywhere. I think Paulo Coelho wrote it, because his first version was By the river Piedra, I sat down and wept. Is this your impetus to read a book that you already read called The Alchemist, written by Paulo Coelho? Because this is what's going to happen after you make $2 million. By the river of Putty, you sat down and wept because you're going to fuck it up because currently nobody wants to fuck you. You're going to make a lot of money because making money is guacamole recipe number 23. Oh, 11 and 4. Yawn. So easy. New York Fashion Week. Mark McCormick started it as an external API. You just do an external API. As soon as you don't do an external API, you are going to go bankrupt and you're going to stay depressed. Would you be less depressed if you had $250K in the bank account? Probably. Has this video helped you? If it has, get off the sofa and go to 5K. Did you just write another book, Sofa to 5K dollars, based on the book for obese people called Sofa to 5K? I'm not going to listen to a skinny Chinese guy who weighs 235 pounds. Your shoulders are so broad. Larry, can I have sex with your shoulders? True DM. True DM. Funny stuff I saw on the internet. Funny stuff I saw on the internet. There's a segment that's coming up. It's Tuesday, the 21st, which is funny shiitake I saw on the internet. Have you been to one of those episodes? Because instead of doing a website, we can just do a Gemini 3, because today is day 43 of the hashtag 55 days of Gemini 3 at SF Super Bowl. If you think that this has been a recording, maybe you should clip a segment of a prior thing and also set an intention. Oh, have you been to a Larry Chang yoga class, ladies? It's for women only. We're doing a series of 4 yoga classes, 1 to help you fall asleep, 2 to help you with your pelvic floor, Kegel, 3 to help you manage your brain, 4 to help your digestion, because your skin, it's looking kind of ruddy. You'd be so much hotter if you were to be sweaty in my yoga class virtually over YouTube. Shavasana, blessings, Nadi Shodhana breathing. Go back and rewatch this video and figure out what one thing you can use to sell. And remember, the Federal Reserve, it's neither federal nor are there any reserves. Those rulers, there are not going to be new rulers for money. Stop saying CBDC. It's been a CBDC since 1971. It's going to be Web 5. But let's say you don't have any money because you're $15,000 in debt. Just do Web 12. It's free. Sell 1 book for $800. A Bible to somebody who's got a dark passenger, or any book that I've already mentioned. I would use Jim Quick Limitless. I would use Joe Dispenza. I would use chapter 11 of Joe Dispenza. And Smashing X Pumpkins, your book is Dan Olson, hashtag CHA.